Chapter 371. The station has a large flow of people, and people from all walks of life gather here. Stealing a bag is just a piece of cake. The filth hidden under the floating population is beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Take this small billiards room for example. The floor was dirty, and it seemed to be a place for young people who had no money to play billiards in their spare time. But because it was accessible from all directions, it made a lot of money for Vicious Wolf every year. Of course, no one plays billiards in the middle of the night, but there are several hidden posts near the billiard room. Their boss, Vicious Wolf, is waiting for a big business, so of course, he has to be vigilant. A wooden table is full of dishes to go with the wine. In the middle of September, there is a man in his 40s who is still shirtless. He does not feel cold at all. Gu Xiang nods and bows, constantly pouring wine and taking food for the middle-aged man. Several scantily dressed billiard girls all giggle. "You brat, it is a pleasure to be poured wine by a beauty. Seeing your face, Lord Wolf has no appetite." The middle-aged man is a little dark and thin. It turns out that he is Vicious Wolf. Gu Xiang laughs and says some flattering words, but Vicious Wolf puts down his chopsticks. "You brat, you can also have a rich girlfriend. Are you lying to Lord Wolf?" Gu Xiang's eyes flash with a trace of panic. "What are you talking about, Lord Wolf?" Her family is very rich, and she also hooks up with a rich second generation. She didn't honor the breakup fee, so I kidnapped her brother. It is easy for her to take out 5 million yuan. Lord Wolf provides the venue, and she just needs to wait for the money. Breaking up and asking a woman to take the loss fee? Even if he is a gangster, Vicious Wolf also looks down on such a good-for-nothing. But no one is born to hate money. Gu Xiang lets him take the big share, and he doesn't mind supporting this little wretch. However, he really doesn't like to be fooled by others as a fool. Vicious Wolf winks, and the woman with heavy makeup, who is smiling just now, suddenly kicks Gu Xiang and the stool to the wall. Gu Xiang curls up in pain, and the woman with heavy makeup grabs his hair and presses him to the table. Vicious Wolf chews a peanut. "You still have something to say, don't you? For example, her brother works in Lin's pharmaceutical factory, and your ex-girlfriend hooks up with a rich second generation, who is also a senior member of Lin's pharmaceutical factory. You bastard, do you want me to die with you?" Gu Xiang's nose and mouth are covered with blood, and one of his front teeth is knocked out. "Lord Wolf, no matter how rich Lin's pharmaceutical factory is, it is just a private company. Besides, senior member of Lin's pharmaceutical factory is just a part-time job." Du Lang spat at him. "Private enterprise? You bastard, you made me take a big risk. In a while, you come out and collect the money. Leave the 5 million and get out of Sichuan. I won't argue with you about the past." He patted Gu Xiang's face hard, motioning the girl with heavy makeup to let go. Gu Xiang staggered and felt that there was only darkness in front of him. 5 million yuan belongs to Vicious Wolf? Didn't that mean that after all his hard work, he would have to bear the name of a kidnapper for nothing? He would have to wander the world without getting a single cent of benefits? Gu Xiang gnashes his teeth with hatred. Seeing that Vicious Wolf leaves, he doesn't dare to show his unwillingness, nor does he dare to fight Vicious Wolf. He runs to the storage room behind the billiard room and kicks Rong hard. Rong has been hungry for 2 days, and he has no strength to fight back. He staggers after being kicked. Lin Luoran and her 2 apprentices are behind the wall of the storage room. Their spiritual mind is their eyes, and they see everything clearly. Xing Tian is not as calm as Yuan Yi. Seeing that Rong is not only starving but also being beaten, he doesn't care about the plan anymore. Yuan Yi stops him. "School brother, the Grand Master didn't say anything. She must have her own considerations." Lin Luoran nods. "The more miserable Rong is, the more Sister Rong will want to tear Gu Xiang apart. We can't decide the fate of our friends at will just because we are cultivators." She saw her brother's miserable appearance, and she still wants to protect that little ruffian. It can only show that Sister Rong is actually indifferent to family. This is the key to untie the knot in their hearts. Let's bear with it and not interfere. So what if they are cultivators? They can't force people to have feelings deep in their hearts. Lin Luoran also doesn't think that she is qualified to decide who Sister Rong should be with or not. For the safety of the Lin family, she can help Sister Rong see the real face of her boyfriend, but she can't force Sister Rong to make a choice. When the three of them are talking, there is a commotion in front of the billiard room. Chao Liang arrives with 2 suitcases. There are 5 million old banknotes in the boxes. Seeing Gu Xiang's miserable appearance, Chao Liang is still aggressive. People who don't know the truth may think that Chao Liang is the head of the kidnappers. Seeing that it is Chao Liang, Gu Xiang spits and scolds, "Bitch, you still say that you have nothing to do with him? If you have nothing to do with him, will you pay for your brother's ransom?" Sister Rong looks at him coldly and is unwilling to say a word to him. Compared with pouring dirty water on her, she just wants to know whether Rong is still safe or not. Seeing Sister Rong's cold eyes, Gu Xiang is so angry that he has to run away without making a dime, even though he has to bear the reputation of 5 million. Of course, Vicious Wolf also leaves some people to support Gu Xiang. He wants to beat Sister Rong, but is pushed away by Chao Liang. The money is here. We have to see him first. It is the first time for Vicious Wolf's men to see a ransom paying so arrogant, let alone Gu Xiang. They look at each other and go forward to check the 2 boxes. 5 million is a lot. It takes them a while to get the money. During this period, Gu Xiang's eyes twinkle. No one knows what he is thinking. Someone goes to the storage room and drags Rong out. Sister Rong shows her weakness and her eyes are red. "My car is over there. If you don't mind, can you help me to get in?" Chao Liang finds a stool to sit down, takes out a lighter and lights a cigarette. Chao Liang has the jade plate with him, so he is not nervous. Besides, there are so many people outside, so he doesn't look nervous. However, in the eyes of others, he is a pretentious man. These people look at each other and really don't know whether to help Rong or not. Seeing that everyone is frightened by Chao Liang's momentum, Vicious Wolf can't sit still anymore. He laughs and comes out of the room next to him. "Child Chao is really elegant. Help him to get in his car. I, Vicious Wolf, will be your friend." Chao Liang laughs. "Sister Rong, go to the car and take care of your brother. Close the door and don't get out if you don't need to." "Vicious Wolf, right? You are quite well informed." Vicious Wolf is about to answer, but Gu Xiang suddenly rushes out and pushes Sister Rong aside. He holds a gun in his right hand and points it at Sister Rong's temple. He forces her to get in the car and closes the door. He says fiercely, "Give me 5 million or I will kill her and her brother." Vicious Wolf is so embarrassed that he has no time to talk to Chao Liang. Chao Liang ignores Gu Xiang's clamor. He pulls out a jade plate from his neck and says, "You kidnapped him. Where did you take his jade plate?" Rong has the protective jade plate, but he is still beaten black and blue. Isn't it unreasonable? Vicious Wolf is stunned and shakes his head. Is this the time to talk about the jade plate? In the mini-world, Lin Luoran also asks, "Did you take his jade plate?" Zheng Tian starts to make a fuss. His eldest school brother, Yuan Yi, is also a black-bellied man. Grandmaster thinks that Yuan Yi is an honest man. Yuan Yi quietly throws the jade plate back to the corner of the storage room. He comes back calmly and says, "Realistic. Everything is for more realistic." Finally, Vicious Wolf's men find the jade plate in the corner of the storage room. He takes it and looks at it. Except for the word Lin, he doesn't see anything special. Chao Liang stubs out the cigarette, takes the jade plate from Yuan Ye's hand and turns around to leave. Gu Xiang and Vicious Wolf are completely ignored. Vicious Wolf doesn't know why this person is so confident. Can he be so arrogant just because he is from the Lins? Chao Liang thinks it's almost time. He doesn't want Sister Rong to see too bloody a scene. He doesn't want to talk nonsense with these small characters. He goes to the car by himself. "Don't come closer. If you come closer, I'll shoot." Gu Xiang stretches out from the window and points at Chao Liang. He looks very embarrassed. Seeing Chao Liang coming, Gu Xiang's hand trembles and he really shoots. Vicious Wolf is furious. He has never seen someone like Gu Xiang who doesn't listen to the director. If someone dies here, the billiard room can no longer be used for other purposes. After the gunshot, Chao Liang doesn't fall down. The jade plate on his neck bursts out a white light. The shell scratches the light and falls to the ground. Vicious Wolf is stunned. Gu Xiang is stunned. Sister Rong pushes him out of the car. Chao Liang's mouth moves slightly. He spits out two silent words, idiot. He raises the car key in his hand and kicks Gu Xiang's gun away. Do you want to run away with the money without the car key? Then he drives away regardless of Vicious Wolf's gloomy face. Sister Rong doesn't say a word in the car. She doesn't even look at Gu Xiang on the ground again, as if he is a passerby who has nothing to do with her. Vicious Wolf's men start an inexplicable drama. They stare at the money on the table. Boss? Vicious Wolf is still thinking about the white light that can't be explained by common sense when Chao Liang is shot. Is it really worth to offend such a person for 5 million? As soon as Chao Liang leaves, Lord Leopard comes with his men. First break this little bastard's legs, then smash this place. He is talking about Gu Xiang and smashing the billiard room. Vicious Wolf is furious. Lord Leopard's men all come out from the alley. The three of them don't have time to watch the power shuffle. They are about to leave quietly when a muffled laugh comes from the shadow. Lin Lun, you are really a good-for-nothing as a bearing essence cultivator. Happy Gregorian New Year. There is good news and bad news in the new year. Which one do you want to hear first? Chapter 372. The monster in Rong City is probably the only one who can get close to her quietly. Late at night in September, Yang Lisha is wearing casual sportswear and standing in the shadow of an alley. She really looks like a young girl after jogging if you don't look at the weird time and place. Yang Lisha comes to her for nothing but their agreement. Lin Luoran wants Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian to go back. She thinks that she may need to ask the monster to take care of her family in Penglai. It's good to get familiar with her first. You guys can call her Master Yang. Yuan Yi met Yang Lisha when he was in the Tower of Babel. At that time, he only felt that she was mysterious and powerful. When did she become a master? Yang Lisha doesn't say yes or no. You are good at taking advantage of others. Come with me. Yang Lisha takes the three of them through the alleys of Rong City. They soon come to the flower shop of Yang's family. Yuan Yi is quite familiar with this place. He and Mr. Lin came here to make trouble. He feels embarrassed to let Yuan Yi come to the flower shop again after such a long time. They look at the flowers in the shop. Yang Lisha takes Lin Luoran to the backyard. The acacia tree bears a lot of fruit this year. Some pods have burst. Lin Luoran is not happy. Instead, she frowns. Yang Lisha looks the same as her. She picks up a red acacia bean. Voidy's vitality is fading. She can't wait. Lin Luoran, when are you going to Penglai? Lin Luoran can feel the overflowing wood reiki without Yang Lisha pointing it out. This small yard is nourished by the reiki overflowing from the acacia tree. There are several kinds of flowers and trees blooming out of season. The vines all over the wall are even more luxuriant. Can't Yang Lisha lock the reiki of the acacia tree? I have sorted out the clues of Penglai. When are you going to leave? Where is the soul wood? Yang Lisha's question makes Lin Luoran unable to escape. She is silent for a while. I will take you to find the soul wood in a month. Lin Luoran comes out of the flower shop of Yang's family. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian both hear their conversation. Lin Luoran has never revealed her plan to find Mount Penglai in front of her family. Now she can't hide it anymore. She tells the truth to her two apprentices. Master, are you going to look for Mount Penglai? Although Yuan Yi is an individual cultivator, he still has many inheritances. Mount Penglai has always been passed down in ancient books. Yuan Yi doesn't understand why his grandmaster's personal ability is already top in Huaxia. Why does he still want to find Spirit Mountain? Lin Luoran smiles. Yuan Yi, do you know that there are many responsibilities that people can't escape when they are living in the world? For example, as a child, I can't watch my mother turn into a pile of bones after 100 years. It is said that there is a way for mortals to shape the Taoist root in Mount Penglai. Therefore, I have to go there sooner or later. Zheng Tian became a monk halfway and didn't know the dangers. Grandmaster, have you planned for a long time? Lin Luoran nods. It has been 7 or 8 years since I knew that there was a turning point in Mount Penglai. I've long decided to find Penglai. It wasn't until I met this demonist that I got some clues about Penglai. This is also the reason why I'm anxious to bear my gold core. I haven't been able to make up my mind to set off because I really don't have much confidence. Your cultivation levels aren't high enough either. If something happens to your families, I'm afraid you won't be able to take care of them. Besides, Lin Luoran's decision is not a mistake. Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian just feel the pressure. If Lin Luoran's trip is delayed for several years, can the two of them support the Lin family? Seeing Yuan Ye's ferocious face, Lin Luoran is not so worried. I will leave in a month. According to the hint, the Dragon Palace should be unsealed. It will be given to you then. If there is any danger that can't be solved, you can go in with your relatives and friends. Store more food. Even if someone drains the water of Dongting, they can't find the entrance. Yuan Yi nods. Zheng Tian feels the atmosphere is too depressing. He laughs and says that the first school brother has become the turtle prime minister and Yuan Yi is beaten up. The three of them return to Lin's house as if nothing has happened. The stars are bright tonight, but no one is in the mood to appreciate the moon. No one notices that in the distant sky, there seems to be a star flashing at an abnormal frequency for a while and then calms down. Goldie, it's okay here. Let's stop. Lin Luoran rides on Goldie in the air and chooses a mountain kernel. This is the rainforest on the border of Yunnan and Burma. She is going to transplant the soul wood here. Choosing a place with few people, Lin Luoran flashes into the space and begins to dig the tree hard. Space was becoming more and more arbitrary. When would the rule of not being able to use spells be changed? Lin Luoran takes the shovel and digs the soil. The soul wood can't be held by two people and its roots are too deep. It takes her a long time to dig with her strength. When she is tired of digging, she picks a red persimmon. It is soft and sweet and saves the step of cooking it with chaff. This is the advantage of the space. The more Lin Luoran cultivates, the more she can imagine what kind of realm she has to reach to make a magic weapon like the space. Lin Luoran picks the persimmon, pulls a peanut and eats it. Then she starts to dig the tree again. When the soul wood leaves the soil layer, it depends on the three residents in the space to support it. Otherwise, many spirit herbs will be smashed to death by this big guy. Lin Luoran grabs the branch with one hand. With a thought, she has already gone out of the space with the tree. Goldie is almost crushed by the soul wood. It stares at its unscrupulous master and flutters its wings to fly aside. Lin Luoran smiles awkwardly. She contributes an elixir to please Goldie. She chooses a high place where there will be no water. It is much more convenient for her to use spells of the water outside the space. She makes a big pit and plants the soul wood with the help of the wind. Lin Luoran tries to make it look like it has always been here. However, it still looks a little weird. Lin Luoran finds that other trees in the rainforest are covered with moss and entangled with parasites. She imitates them and decorates the trunk of the tree. Now it looks much more pleasing to the eye. The soul wood accelerated by the crazy Taoist is more than 10 meters in diameter and as high as a building. The one Lin Luoran takes out is only 3,000 years old, with a diameter of 3 meters and a height of less than 50 meters. Its leaves are not mature yet, so it can't wrap a person like the leaves of the soul wood that have been sped up. Because of this, the soul wood is not so conspicuous in the mountains where there are so many trees on the border of Yunnan and Burma. Lin Luoran has to find a birthplace for the soul wood. She can't take the soul wood out of the space, no matter whether the monster can see through her decorations or not. After planting the tree, Lin Luoran is very satisfied. She takes out a piece of white paper and folds it into a paper crane. People without a master are always like this. She even needs the monster to teach her how to fold paper cranes. Yang Lisha says that this way of sending letters by paper cranes is beyond the scope of spells. Simple spells can't make a paper crane fly over thousands of mountains and rivers to find the recipient. It is more accurate than a person's character. It is not like a mobile phone that has no signal or radio waves that can be intercepted. It can even shelter from the rain on rainy days. It is really a must-have for home travel. Transcendental spells are spells of nature, aren't they? However, this little spell of nature is too simple. The experience taught by the monster reminds Lin Luoran of the mind study proposed by Wang Yangming, a famous scholar in the Ming dynasty of Huaxia. This little spell of nature is very simple. Lin Luoran keeps folding paper cranes with her spiritual mind and wants them to fly. After folding at least 10,000 cranes, the cranes will fly by themselves. Lin Luoran felt it was a joke at that time. What kind of spell of nature is this? Yang Lisha laughed at her for not knowing it. This little spell of nature seems simple, but it can only be used by cultivators above the level of laying foundation. Lin Luoran may not be so talented. She only feels the subtle connection between herself and the paper cranes after folding more than 15,000 cranes. When the paper cranes fly out of her hand without spells of nature, Lin Luoran is shocked as if it was the first time she cultivated. Lin Luoran releases the little paper cranes that deliver messages and takes Goldie to walk around nearby. Lin Luoran is also very interested in the unique species of the rainforest. She chooses along the way and adds a lot of them into the space. There are unknown trees that can quench thirst with sap and wild vines full of delicious berries. Lin Luoran also transplants mosquito-catching grass into the space. She finds some semi-mature wild rice. Peeling off the husk, the rice inside is turquoise. This is a species she has never heard of before. Lin Luoran transplants it carefully. There are also plants with tubers like yams and leaves bigger than lotus leaves. Lin Luoran sees wild boars eating them. She also picks up 2 pieces and throws them into the space. When transplanting plants like yams, Lin Luoran finds black epiphyllum that was transplanted into the space a long time ago. Since she opened the sea of consciousness, it has never seen flowers again. It is the earliest plant in the space. Lin Luoran has been cultivating for more than 10 years. Does this black epiphyllum have been growing for thousands of years? Lin Luoran takes a closer look. Is the dot hidden in the middle of the leaves of flower bud? Lin Luoran is happy at first, but then she is disappointed. Ice grass also began to have flower buds many years ago. She has never seen it blossom until now. It feels like some big holes in the story. Readers angrily leave comments saying that they can't see the ending in their lifetime. They can only wait for their grandchildren to sweep it to Lin Luoran during the new year. If one day equals 1 year, Lin Luoran still feels that there are many opportunities to see ice grass and black epiphyllum blossom. She secretly cheers herself up. After walking in the rainforest, the impatient female monster Yang Lisha still hasn't arrived. Lin Luoran now feels that time is precious and she can't waste it like this. She takes out the alchemy furnace and prepares to make several more batches of elixirs. Both fostering chi bolus and gathering chi bolus are grade 1 elixirs. In the later stage, the effect is not as good as before. If the Lin family cultivates laying foundation, it will be even more like eating jelly beans. The prescription of elixirs given by White Fairy is really limited, and the effects of several grade 2 elixirs are quite weak. Lin Luoran remembers that Wood Wolf even knows the prescription of bone marrow cleansing bolus. Maybe it knows something else. She asks Goldie to hunt on its own, and she enters the space again. Last time Lin Luoran cheated, the prescription of bone marrow cleansing bolus, Wood Wolf is full of resentment. Hearing that Lin Luoran comes to inquire about free information again, the hair on its face stands up. Hey, what did you want to tell me last time? Now we have a lot of time. Why don't you tell me? Lin Luoran is about to have a casual conversation, but Wood Wolf feels timid first. Like the silver fish, it hesitates for a long time. It still doesn't tell Lin Luoran what conspiracy it is to tempt her with bone marrow cleansing bolus last time. Chapter 373. Lin Luoran finally learns 2 new prescriptions of boluses. Beginner bolus, in the middle of grade 2, can strengthen the body and nourish Wacken. It is the most effective bolus for cultivators who have just laid foundation. It can help them adapt to the transformation of Reiki into Wacken and stabilize their personal ability in the early stage of laying foundation. Spirit Crossing Bolus in the lower grade of grade 3 can converge Reiki and build a bridge. It is the most effective one for cultivators in the early stage of laying foundation. Lin Luoran checks the spirit herbs in her space. She doesn't lack spirit herbs for beginner bolus, but she lacks 2 auxiliary herbs for Spirit Crossing Bolus. The 100-year-old bamboo root dew grows in the roots of 100-year-old bamboos. It is even rarer and more precious than truffles. Lin Luoran also grows a bunch of bamboos in her space. It has been more than 100 years. She digs out the roots, but she doesn't find anything that matches the description. However, she harvests a few tender bamboo shoots, which make her feel helpless. She decides to make beginner bolus first. She has even made grade 4 foundation laying bolus, so she is not afraid of this grade 2 bolus. After bearing essence, Lin Luoran has a stable alchemy fire. She feels it is much easier to make the furnace again. She doesn't have to worry about controlling the fire anymore. She focuses on the alchemy furnace. Although she is making grade 2 bolus, the success rate is not much lower than that of grade 1 bolus. At dawn the next day, Lin Luoran sees a cloud of green mist coming to the rainforest. It turns into a person on the ground. It is Yang Lisha. At that time, Lin Luoran has just collected a furnace of boluses, and Yang Lisha has already seen the soul wood standing between the mountains. Both of them are delighted. Yang Lisha even walks around the soul wood a few times to make sure it is real. Then she turns her head and says with a smile, "In fact, as long as you can have the soul wood, I don't care where you find it. Now you have to trouble me to bring it back to Rong City. Don't you think it's troublesome?" Lin Luoran is speechless. She forgets that the person in front of her is not an ordinary cultivator. She is a monster of plants. Yang Lisha can tell whether the soul wood is real or not at a glance. However, Yang Lisha doesn't agree. If Lin Luoran takes it out in Rong City, Yang Lisha will know that there is such a big tree in it all of a sudden. How are you going to bring it back? Lin Luoran has never seen the monster fight with vines in Lin's house. She is curious about the monster's skills. Yang Lisha glances at her, puts her hands together, and makes a lotus hand gesture. The soul wood pulls its roots out of the soil by itself. This is the ability to control plants, so it is not strange. What is strange is that Yang Lisha changes the hand gesture and the soul wood shrinks at a speed visible to the naked eye. After a while, the towering tree, which is tens of meters high, becomes a realistic model with complete roots. It shrinks into a small tree about 1 foot high. Yang Lisha easily holds it in her hand. Was this also a spell? Lin Luoran remembers that in the Tower of Babel, the monster ancestor of the monsters of wood shrunk Yang Lisha and held her in his hand. Yang Lisha fell to the ground and became a human again. No matter how wonderful the spell is, it is just the use of Reiki in the world. Lin Luoran can't understand what Jiha and Yang Lisha are doing. Don't be too envious. Anyway, we are going to Penglai someday. According to the ancient books, there are not only some jade maps that record spells, but also some unimaginable magic arts in the mortal world. Lin Luoran shakes her head. I just want to find a way to shape the Taoist root for mortals. It doesn't matter if it's spells or magic arts. As long as I succeed in my cultivation, I will learn them one day. There is no hurry. Yang Lisha is in a good mood after getting the soul wood. She thinks for a while and tells the truth. Where did you hear that there is a way to shape the Taoist root for mortals in Mount Penglai? If there is no such way, you are risking your life for nothing. Lin Luoran is speechless. She was also skeptical when she first read the records in the Chronicle of the 9 Provinces. But the records in the Dongting Dragon Palace are true, so she believes in this travel book. If there is no way to shape the Taoist root for mortals in Penglai, what should she do? Yang Lisha sees Lin Luoran's changing expression. She sighs and puts a green bead between Lin Luoran's eyebrows. Whether there is what you are looking for in Mount Penglai or not, our 3 agreements have been officially completed. This is the entrance to Mount Penglai. If I cheat, I am willing to suffer the thunder punishment of the Tao of nature. Cultivators, whether they are cultivators or monsters, have to obey the god's oath. Yang Lisha really doesn't need to curse herself on this point. After checking the memory bead, Lin Luoran nods with certainty. Who knows what everyone will face in the next second if they don't go to the crossroads? Lin Luoran must go to Mount Penglai so that she can live up to her mother's life and fight for the destiny of heaven for her mother. The 3 agreements with the female monster are completed. Lin Luoran gets the news of Penglai, and the female monster gets the soul wood. Neither of them wants to stay in this wild mountain. Yang Lisha turns into mist and leaves. Lin Luoran also returns to our city on Goldie. It is only 8 o'clock when she gets home. Mrs. Lin has been used to her daughter's mysterious behavior. She doesn't feel surprised. Mrs. Lin adds a pair of chopsticks and asks Lin Luoran to have breakfast. Rong Donglin is still recovering at home, so Mrs. Lin gives Sister Rong a day off. Mrs. Lin makes mung bean porridge herself. Lin Luoran drinks 2 bowls in a row. After so many years, the porridge made by her mother is the most homely one. Lin Luoran is very greedy. She wants to eat it all the time. The family will live and die together and never be separated. Only 2 apprentices of the Lin family know the truth. Lin Luoran hasn't found a chance to tell her parents about her plan. She is a cautious person. She is afraid that her trip will be delayed for several years and her return date is uncertain. A large number of jade boxes she ordered from Fatty Chui a few years ago can finally be put into use. Lin Luoran picks some mature spirit herbs in the space and fills more than 100 jade boxes. Ginseng of thousands of years is a must. Poria cocos of hundreds of years are not qualified to be put into jade boxes. They are all spirit herbs that can prolong life. They can be used to make elixirs and prolong life at critical moments. What if the jade boxes are not enough? She exchanges elixirs for a few storage bags from the special department. She simply packs the less valuable spirit herbs one by one and seals them all. Lin Luoran divides these spirit herbs into 2 parts and gives them to Yuan Yi and Zheng Tian respectively for safekeeping. Lin Luoran also gives the formula of bolus and the grade 2 alchemy furnace to Yuan Yi. Grandmaster? Yuan Yi is in a heavy mood. He always feels that Lin Luoran is making funeral arrangements. Putting aside this ominous thought, Yuan Yi is also not relaxed. When I come back, you should also make a few furnaces of elixirs. Lin Luoran spends a lot of money this time. Although she plans to prepare for a rainy day, it is also true that she wants Yuan Yi to take the opportunity to make elixirs. She pulls out 2 acres of medicine garden. Yuan Yi stares at all kinds of spirit herbs and spirit herbs in the storage bag. He is speechless with his eyes wide open. He has always known that his grandmaster is good at cultivating spirit herbs, but he doesn't expect that he will keep such a large amount of wealth. If people in the world of personal ability know that his grandmaster has so many spirit herbs, some of them may get excited and forget that his grandmaster is in the level of bearing essence. Money moves people's hearts. Yuan Yi calms down and secretly warns himself that he must be more cautious when using this batch of spirit herbs in the future. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and passes the primary introduction of swords to Zheng Tian. This guy is obsessed with swordsmanship and has a good eye. He can see that the primary introduction is extraordinary. Lin Luoran secretly tells him that this is the lost primary introduction of Zhu Mountain. Zheng Tian follows in the footsteps of his senior school brother. He can't stay calm with bulging eyes. How many good treasures does his young grandmaster have? Don't be too happy. I hope you will never need it. Listen, if I don't come back after 10 years and the Lin family is in danger, you can give the complete introduction of Swords of Zhu Mountain to Wen Guanjing. Let Zhu Mountain protect you once and retreat to the Dragon Palace. Zheng Tian promises, Grandmaster, with your personal ability, are you sure you can go to Penglai this time? Why doesn't he come back for more than 10 years? Lin Luoran thinks for a while. You are also a cultivator. You should know that there are countless legends in the state of Huaxia. Some of them are half true and half false. You have to believe them. There was a woodcutter watching chess in the deep mountain. When the game was over, his axe handle had already decayed. How long do you think it took? There was also a child who met an immortal. When he went down the mountain, his playmates all had white hair on their temples. Only he looked the same. Since ancient times, there have been real immortals in Penglai. I think about it secretly. People say that one day in heaven is 1 year in the human world. What if I delay for a few days and make you worry for nothing? What Lin Luoran says makes sense. Zheng Tian is skeptical. Lin Luoran finds an opportunity to send the spells of the level of laying foundation and the knowledge taught by White Fairy into Luodong's mind, including several magic circles whose effects she has already figured out. She makes a lot of elixirs and puts them in the Dragon Palace. She also stores tens of thousands of pounds of rice planted in the space in the Dragon Palace. It is already the middle of October. Everyone is in the Mid-Autumn Festival this year. Lin Luoran makes a toast and tells them that she wants to go far away. The table full of fat crabs suddenly feels boring. Except for Yuan Yi, Zheng Tian and Luodong, everyone else is shocked and feels that it is not right to go to Penglai for the first time. Luoran, that is the legendary spirit mountain. How can mortals like us go there? Mrs. Lin still doesn't know why Lin Luoran wants to go to Penglai. Cui Wanlu is smart. She rolls her eyes and knows that everyone doesn't want her grandmaster to go. She says that she hasn't trained Qi yet. How can her grandmaster leave her alone? Lin Luoran picks her up. You little liar. I said I would teach you a few days ago. Who pestered Luodong to teach her the formula? Cui Wanlu is exposed. She is so shy that she hides beside her father, Fatty Cui. Li doesn't know the sorrow of separation. She picks up a crab casually and says while peeling it, Sister, can you take me there this time? Lin Luoran shakes her head. Your personal ability is too low. If I were you, I would stay at home and do closed-door training. Li's words make her speechless. Except for Lin Luoran, she has the highest personal ability here. Why can't she show up? She is not convinced at first, but she suddenly says with a bitter face, I really can't go. My master has been in closed-door training recently. I guess he is going to lay foundation soon. Without someone to talk to him, Mr. Xi's psychological quality will be terrible. Chapter 374. Lin Luoran writes Yuan Ye's name on the golden book and lends him the stamp of the Dragon King. Yuan Yi is now Lin Luoran's official of the Dragon Palace. He is not a member of the water nationality, so he can't go to many places. However, he can go in and out of the Dragon Palace freely. Lin Luoran also asks for the bone boat that Mr. Lin and Yuan Yi once brought back. If she can refine it on the way, it will be useful on the way to Penglai. Lin Luoran is about to go on a long journey. She realizes that she is interested in many places. She goes to the capital to visit Commander Qin and Grandpa Gua. Grandpa Mu has been in closed-door training for several years. When Lin Luoran meets him, he is in the late laying foundation period. If they keep going like this, they are likely to bear essence in their lifetime. Seeing Lin Luoran, Grandpa Mu remembers the large number of magic cores he collected in the Bauhinia Empire. These things grow in the body of high-level monsters. The locals call them magic cores. Gua and I have been studying them for a long time. There is a lot of energy in them. We can't extract it at all. Here, you can play with them. Grandpa Mu grabs a handful of colorful crystals and hands them to Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran feels them with her eyes closed for a while. She nods in agreement. They are completely different from Reiki. However, they are not as pure as Reiki. They are not so weak that they can be played with. We can't extract them now, but we can't tell when the technology improves. How many have you and Grandpa Gua collected? Grandpa Mu smiles and hands her a storage bag. The bag is full of magic cores of various colors. Some of them are even inlaid with delicate mahogany wands. Ignoring the power inside, these magic cores really look like the colorful gems on the earth. Take it. You can play with them. Gua and I still have 2 big bags. The power of these things can't be extracted. They are just beautiful stones for cultivators. Lin Luoran doesn't feel pressured to take them and throws them into the space. After waiting for a long time in the fragrant hill villa, Grandpa Gua finally comes. He is also very happy to see Lin Luoran and laughs heartily. Lin, Pei Yuan, the young man you recommended, is very good. He has a solid basic knowledge and an open mind. He just helped us solve a big problem a few days ago. Lin Luoran asks and learns that Grandpa Gua and others have reached the stage of the energy reactor. Pei Yuan puts forward a new idea, which opens up a new field for Grandpa Gua and others. Lin Luoran is fascinated by his words. At this rate, maybe in less than 10 years, human beings will be able to travel among the stars. The 2 old men and the young girl are good friends. The maple leaves turn the mountain red. The 3 of them can't even remember how much spirit wine they have drunk. When Master Mu and Master Gua wake up, Lin Luoran is already gone. She was an excessively outstanding member of the younger generation. Interacting with her made the two elders feel pressured, and they couldn't slack off in their cultivation. Is there still no news from your Xiao-san? The lingering effect of the spirit wine was too strong. Old Guo rubbed his temples and thought about it again. Master Mu sighs. Mu Tiannan returned to New York a few years ago and disappeared in less than a month. No one knows whether he is still alive or not. Mu Tiannan's parents are so worried. Too much wisdom is bound to be hurt. Perhaps he will come back once he has thought things through. This topic is not pleasant. Master Guo also regrets bringing up his old friend's sad story. Lin Luoran certainly doesn't know the conversation between the two elders. The burden on her shoulders is too heavy, and she has no time to think about it. There used to be a playboy in the Mu family who always showed up in front of her. Since the day Baojia fell asleep with the soul wood, she hasn't seen him for several years. Lin Luoran only feels lonely about love when she is tired of cultivation occasionally. If she also has a pair of shoulders to shelter her from wind and rain, she won't have to work so hard, right? Lin Luoran turns her head and throws such thoughts to the back of her mind. She doesn't know when she has been used to relying on others. She is becoming the object of many people's dependence. She can't afford to be weak. After going to the capital, Lin Luoran returns to the Naku grassland again. In the warm spring valley of the snow mountain, a pure white horse feels the breath of its master and raises its head. Zhe Yitong's yurt is no longer there. Lin Luoran follows the breath of the jade plate to the silver lake. The little girl seems to have grown taller after a few months. Seeing Lin Luoran suddenly descending from the sky, she can't hide her surprise. Ajia, you said I could come here next year. Zhe Yitong's eyes are shining. Lin Luoran touches her head. Why? Aren't you happy to see me in advance? Zhe Yitong shakes her head fiercely. Where are your mother Dunju and Nana? Only Zhe Yitong is in the yurt. Lin Luoran uses her spiritual mind to explore the surroundings, but she doesn't see Dunju grazing. My mother took Nana to the hospital for a checkup. Since Nana took the medicine you left, all her old diseases have been cured. Dunju's mother said that she must take Nana to have a checkup regularly so that she can see me get married. Zhe Yitong is a girl on the grassland. She doesn't shy about getting married at all. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and asks her if she would like to go to school in the city. Zhe Yitong doesn't want to leave home, but Lin Luoran knows that the little girl can't make the decision. She can only wait for Dunju to come back. They are talking outside the yurt when White Cloud comes like lightning. Lin Luoran keeps it on the grassland in order to set it free, but White Cloud seems a little aggrieved. Seeing the horse rubbing against her sleeves, Lin Luoran comforts it for a while. When I come back, I'll take you to see the famous mountains in the center of Chuan province, okay? White Cloud twists its neck, throwing a tantrum. Lin Luoran has no choice but to carry Zhe Yitong to the back of the horse. They ride White Cloud to the snow mountain and play in the snow and ice. They don't come back until it's dark. Lin Luoran thinks that Dunju and Nana may not come back until the next day. Lin Luoran and Zhe Yitong prepare dinner while talking and laughing. When they are about to start, a truck stops outside the yurt. Dunju and Nana come back by hitchhiking. They politely ask the driver to get down and have dinner together. The enthusiastic herdsman is anxious to go home, but the truck still drives away. They lift the blanket and are stunned to see Lin Luoran. They have been together for so long and they are like a family. How can they not miss her? However, Lin Luoran has regained her memory. She is obviously a girl from the big city with her own life. They can't let her stay on the grassland to graze for the rest of her life. Why didn't you say hello? Why did you suddenly come here? Dunju is so friendly. Lin Luoran smiles. I came here to see you and to ask if Zhe Yitong would like to go to school in the city. Dunju doesn't think much about it. She only says it depends on Zhe Yitong's opinion. Even Mrs. Lin doesn't know the hardships and dangers of going to Penglai. Lin Luoran certainly won't tell Zhe Yitong's family and make them worry. Seeing that Nana is healthy, the family must be happy to graze on the grassland, right? In this case, why should she stick to Zhe Yitong's future? It's not necessary to go to college and read a lot of books to be happy. Sometimes happiness is peace and contentment with the current life, right? She takes it for granted. Lin Luoran thinks it through and doesn't mention this topic anymore. She only tells them to go to Rong City to find the Lin family if they have any problems. Even if I have nothing to do, I will go to Rong City to have fun. Dun Zhu looks relaxed and nods in agreement. When Lin Luoran leaves the next day, Zhe Yitong's family and White Cloud are also reluctant to leave. She is reluctant to fly with the wind. She waves to Zhe Yitong's family who are guarding on the grassy slopes several times. They are still guarding and don't want to leave in advance. White Cloud even sends her all the way to the edge of the kilometer. Seeing a motorcade passing by, it disappears reluctantly under the sky. After walking around, Lin Luoran, who is a little anxious, finally calms down. Peng Lai is dangerous. Her previous state of mind will not reduce the danger even a little bit. Anxiety can't help the current situation. She has always been indifferent. Maybe it is the way to survive. Fighting for the family she cares about, Lin Luoran can always give birth to infinite potential. Sure enough, no matter how high her personal ability enhancement is, she is still the same Lin Luoran who can't be trampled on. She walks around and goes home easily. Without gloominess, the two apprentices first notice the change of their grandmaster's mood. Lin Luoran goes to Weifang to nag again. The Lin family prepares a sumptuous farewell dinner for her. Her relaxed mood infects everyone. Lin Luoran drinks a lot of spirit wine. When she wakes up the next morning, everyone is still asleep. Lin Luoran quietly casts the wind-riding spell and leaves. After calming down, she has a little fear about the trip to Penglai, but she is also not afraid of the difficult challenge. After she leaves Rong City, Yang Lisha closes her eyes and wakes up in the Yang family's flower shop. She sighs slightly. If they didn't know each other for too much interest, they could be a pair of close friends. They are both persistent people. Yang Lisha looks at the acacia tree with undisguised persistence. In her palm is the shrunken soul wood. The acacia tree has run out of Reiki and can't be moved. Yang Lisha can only choose this backyard as the circle eye. She is willing to take care of flowers and trees in this shop for 500 years, just waiting for the moment when Voidy wakes up and sees her first. A green light fills the entire small yard, and the fog is rolling. The next day, the neighbors get up and find that the acacia tree planted for several years in the house of the easygoing Yang is gone. It is replaced by a tall tree that no one knows. The leaves are big and soft, which makes the neighbors talk for a long time. Lin Luoran has gone to Penglai. She will never know that a young foreign girl comes to Rong City with a large consortium. She is a financial genius at Harvard and has a keen sense of numbers that others can't reach. The country of Huaxia is both familiar and strange to her. Although she has never been here, she has been paying attention to this eastern country over the years. There is the person she is looking for here. One day, the assistant opens the door of the hotel room and spreads a roll of meticulous drawings in front of her. The foreign woman touches the drawing and shows a happy expression. Director, people here say that she is called Mortal Heart Fairy. Huaxia people can't stop pretending to be mysterious. Before the assistant can finish her words, she has been sternly stopped by the foreign woman. Who painted this? Take me to her. Anna, you should know that she is very important to me. She really looks like her. Has she finally found her after searching for 2 years? Anna has no choice but to say, it is a young female painter, a stubborn and lovely girl from Huaxia. She only paints pictures of fairies, but she is a little famous. I want to see this female painter. She must have seen the real person to paint her like this. After the assistant goes out, the young foreign director turns on the computer. There is not only the profile of Lin Luoran riding a hawk in the air, but also a blurry photo of flying in colorful clothes over Mount June. As she said, she has been trying to find the fairy who suddenly appeared in the snowstorm that year. A red rope goes through a jade plate. 2 silhouettes, one big and one small, make the young foreign director think about them for many years. Some people are just like this. They are as indifferent as water, but they always do something casually. Before they know it, they have already changed the ordinary or humble fate of others. Just like that year, a misty white light entered her head. Along the way, her sharp analysis and memory allowed her to gradually understand what kind of favor this was. Chapter 375. Since ancient times, mirages have always appeared near Penglai on the Jiaodong Peninsula. Someone said that there were 3 immortal mountains overseas named Penglai, Fangzhong, and Ingzhou. The earliest record in the history of Huaxia was probably the records of the Grand Historian, which described that there were 3 spirit mountains overseas, and the palaces were all made of gold and jade. Of course, this was a fallacy of mortals. Not to mention the value of gold in the eyes of immortals, probably no real immortal had the same taste as the Dragon Clan, who would wrap the entire palace in such a vulgar thing as gold. The world of cultivation was filled with countless treasures. How could the Spirit Mountain, which was said to have real immortals, only be made of gold and jade? Lin Luoran comes all the way to Bohai Sea. She rents a sea view house in Yantai, where she can overlook the bay and observe the sky. She lives next to Bohai Bay. She had a small space with her, so she didn't have to worry about daily necessities. She lived in seclusion and spent most of her time refining the skeleton ship and observing the celestial phenomena. Lin Luoran doesn't know how many difficulties Mr. Lin and the others have gone through to catch the sea monster. Lin Luoran calcines it for a long time. The skeleton is more translucent than before, and there are not many impurities removed. Lin Luoran took out a lot of gold from the Dragon Palace. She purified the pure gold and rearranged the skeleton ship. The joints of the ship were connected with the pure gold, making the ship as stable as a mountain. She also engraved a windriding array, a defense array, and a miniaturization array at the bottom of the ship, which could shrink the skeleton ship to the size of a model. Lin Luoran doesn't have many ways to attack. After thinking for a while, she takes 2 diamonds of fire, which are born with the strange fire as the core of the magic circle. In this way, the bone boat can attack with the power of fire. She also took advantage of the quiet night to test the boat. That night, the tide was turbulent, and the small skeleton boat rose and fell with the waves. No matter how high the waves rose, it was still as stable as a rock. The boat sailed against the current, and because of the windriding array, although it did not make the boat fly, it was very fast on the sea. Lin Luoran is very satisfied with the effect of the skeleton ship. Now she is waiting for the opportunity to enter Penglai. Penglai is indeed in the Bohai Sea. The description of the mirage is not necessarily false. However, mortals do not know that the opportunity to enter the real Spirit Mountain Sea area is only a quarter of an hour a year. Therefore, Lin Luoran needs to observe the sky at night, and she needs a fast boat. In a quarter of an hour, she has to cross the Strait of the Sea of Sin to enter the real sea area where Spirit Mountain is located in the different space. Perhaps in the eyes of the immortals, the sins of mortals were too heavy and unworthy of stepping into the celestial land. Only by washing away their sins could they have the opportunity to see the immortals. The information Yang Lisha gives is recorded in the ancient books of the Monsters of Wood before the monster ancestor of the Monsters of Wood went to Penglai to learn powerful arts of nature. How did the ancestor of the Monsters of Wood cross the Sea of Sin? In the blink of an eye, it was winter, and the weather in Yantai was getting colder. This was an oceanic climate, and the temperature difference in the winter was not huge. However, due to the high dimension, it was common for snow to fall below -12 degrees Celsius. It was still fine indoors as there was heating. However, for those who worked outdoors, especially in a place like the harbor where the sea breeze blew, the cold sea breeze could make them stomp their feet in the cold. In order to be less eye-catching, Lin Luoran wears thicker clothes. That night, she wears a thick hat and goes around the harbor again. However, she still finds nothing under the surprised eyes of the night shift workers. When it was not snowing, the starry sky in winter was not clear. It was not easy for Lin Luoran to find the special celestial phenomenon that only appeared once a year, even if she had the most powerful telescope. Lin Luoran wanted to go home several times because of the fruitless wait. However, she held back. It was not easy to summon up the courage. She was afraid that she would not leave until she missed her family. Therefore, she lived in Yantai for a few months. The Lin family only thought that she had gone to Penglai. In fact, they had not even found the entrance. Lin Luoran also asked the 3 kings in the space. For Fire Phoenix, it was the most powerful in the world. It had never heard of Mount Penglai. Wood Wolf had heard of it, but at that time, there were no immortals in the world. The so-called Spirit Mountain also existed in the ancient books. As for the silver fish, its memory was sometimes good and sometimes bad. Lin Luoran did not expect it to know anything. She was so bored that she arranged the order of the three monsters according to their different reactions. Fire Phoenix called her Chi Trainer. This name was very old. Obviously, Fire Phoenix had lived for a longer time. The fake Saintess also called her Chi Trainer. If the fake Saintess came to the earth from the time of the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors and followed the ancient name, then Fire Phoenix might have lived before the time of the 3 sovereigns and 5 emperors. It was hard to say how old the silver fish was. However, it did not call her Chi Trainer. It had also heard of Wood Wolf's father, which was before Wood Wolf. In the era when the Little Wolf King lived, only Peng Lai was mentioned in the ancient books. There were no signs of immortals in the world. Even the youngest of the 3 monsters was still unimaginably old compared with Lin Luoran. While she was waiting, it was the new year of 2019. The streets of Yantai were full of lively people. On New Year's Eve, Lin Luoran cooked a large pot of dumplings and ate them up. At night, she could not sleep because she missed her family. She tossed and turned. The sea breeze blew on the balcony and the curtains fluttered. Lin Luoran lay on the chaise lounge and looked at the sky. The North Star in the night sky suddenly flashed 9 times without any warning. Lin Luoran thought she was dazzled. She turned over and sat up. The North Star cast a misty and easily ignored white light on a certain sea area. It flashed 9 times again. The opportunity came so suddenly that Lin Luoran didn't even have time to clean up. She made a gesture with the wind and chased after it in the air. In winter, there was no fishing in Yantai. The sea was quiet. Only occasional cargo ships saw the signal light of the lighthouse. When they looked carefully, the North Star was no longer unusual. It was indeed a signal light. However, it was just a star as a lamp to point out the immortal path for mortals. People who could see it didn't know the truth. The North Star kept its appointment every year, but there was no immortal fate. In the blink of an eye, Lin Luoran had appeared in the water 50 nautical miles away from the shore. 9 was the most honorable number. The North Star sent out a signal at this time. It flashed 9 times each time. There would be 9 times in total. The place was different every time. It gradually went to the deep sea. When these routes are connected, the Sea of Sin will appear when the last signal light goes out. Lin Luoran chased after the light curtain and flew over the sea. The signal flashed very fast. If this was a chance to point the way to Spirit Mountain for mortals, those ordinary people definitely couldn't catch up with this speed. No wonder Emperor Qin and Emperor Hanwu sent people to search for Spirit Mountain with all their strength, but they didn't find anything. Even if they knew it, without the help of cultivators, they couldn't even catch the tail of the signal flashing with ancient navigation technology. Lin Luoran still had the leisure to think about these things while chasing the light. She had to admit that her state of mind was very calm. Because next, she was going to face the Sea of Sin. As the name suggests, it was a place to wash sins. If she didn't calm down, the bone boat she drove would be capsized in an instant. From then on, the Sea of Sin would float and sink. She would become a fierce wind of resentful spirits in the straight day and night. She would never be reincarnated. This was the reason why she divided her family property to her 2 apprentices and her brother Lin Luodong after getting the exact news of Peng Lai. She was really afraid that she would never see them again. The North Star cast the last flashing signal light. Lin Luoran saw that the sea suddenly turned black where the light spot disappeared. It seemed that countless resentful spirits were about to rush out from the gaps of the waves. The bone boat fell into the water and enlarged. As soon as Lin Luoran stood on the bone boat without a mast and a pole, a black wave came over. She disappeared with the boat on the water. Someone on a cargo ship screamed. It turned out that someone saw it and thought that someone fell into the water. The cargo ship was kind enough to come to search and rescue, but there was no clue at all. In the end, it could only be attributed to the sailors' blurred vision. Of course, they would never have thought that someone had found the entrance to the legendary Spirit Mountain overseas under the black wave for a moment. A black wave came crashing down, and the bone ship lit up a transparent protective shield, blocking the black and sticky seawater outside. One flower and one world were not only seen in Buddhism. Lin Luoran had seen the Dragon Palace and Bermuda. She was not unfamiliar with these different dimensional spaces which only had one point of contact with the earth, whether man-made or natural. Therefore, when she opened her eyes, she was suddenly in a dark and thick sea. The waves were splashing and the shore was a black strait. However, she was still calm. This is the Sea of Sin. Lin Luoran was silent in her heart. She drove the bone boat forward in silence. Sailing against the current, the sea was turbulent. The sticky black seawater was like a diluted asphalt solution, which seemed to stick to the bottom of the boat firmly. Lin Luoran looked around and found that the road ahead was bleak. She only had a quarter of an hour, which was only 15 minutes in modern time. She had to cross the endless strait. Of course, she had no time to think about it. Black waves kept hitting the hull of the boat. Lin Luoran walked for 5 minutes in silence, but nothing happened. She was so nervous that she couldn't feel at ease. However, at this moment, she heard a voice of nature singing coming from the stormy black foggy sea. Lin Luoran couldn't help but feel frightened. Lin Luoran didn't know what they were singing and she couldn't understand the lyrics. However, the voice was ethereal and sweet. Maybe even the celestial voice of Yao Tai in the heavenly palace could not be better than this. Lin Luoran didn't dare to listen carefully because she was afraid that it was a terrifying magic voice. However, after the boat passed a few waves, she saw a big round stone emerging from the turbulent black waves in the middle of the sea. A long-haired woman with naked upper body was sitting on the round stone and singing. Her lower body hanging on the round stone was not legs but a blue fish tail. Is this a mermaid? The blue pearls inlaid on the sword of bright snow were transformed by the tears of mermaids. They had always been the representative of beauty and charm. It would take a while for the bone boat to reach the round stone. Lin Luoran had already seen the mermaid with the beautiful face of a human woman. She was crying silently to Lin Luoran with a sad face. She is just singing her own song. She doesn't beg Lin Luoran for anything. However, her sad voice and her sad eyes all tell Lin Luoran her purpose. Chapter 376. Amidst the water, there was no sound of love. The mermaid's eyes are full of sadness. She stares at Lin Luoran and asks to take her away. Take her away. This is the Sea of Sin. How can Lin Luoran show her sympathy? Lin Luoran forces herself to look away and stop listening to the mysterious tune. She calms her mind and steers the bone boat to break through the dark tide. In the blink of an eye, she leaves the mermaid and the round stone behind. A shrill scream comes from behind Lin Luoran. She can't help but look back. She sees a big fish with barbs jumping out of the sea and biting off the head of the mermaid with its mouth wide open. The merman's headless body twitched powerlessly. Its tail slapped the round rock a few times before sliding into the Black Sea. Lin Luoran's mind is moved. She can't continue to be old-fashioned. She knew that it was probably an illusion to tempt her Taoist heart, but because she was not a heartless person, she could not help but think, if she really brought the mermaid on board, would she be able to avoid the disaster of death? Because of this, his Tao heart had opened up, and his technique of controlling the bone ship was not as precise. Lin Luoran's eyes become confused. She vaguely hears the sound of apes coming from both sides of the sea. The wind is blowing in the dark sea. A black shadow comes to her and turns into a person that Lin thought she has almost forgotten. The young Zhou Yaowei shook his glass at her in the Blue Bird Club. At that time, she was young and vigorous. She went there alone and met Wen Guanjing for the first time. He was the legitimate heir of the Wen family in Zhu Mountain. Lin Luoran was just an ignorant rookie on the path of cultivation. How dare she stand next to Wen Guanjing? He must have been driven mad by what happened to Baojia. He must have been driven mad by the fact that cultivators don't take mortals seriously. He has seriously injured Zhou Yaowei. Lin Luoran comes out from the blood pool in the underground palace. The Lin family has been forced into a corner by Zhou Yao. He humiliates Baojia and injures Mr. Lin. Lin Luoran kills him without hesitation. I didn't do anything wrong. Your inner demon can't trap me. Lin Luoran comes back to herself from the past. Her eyes are firm. If killing was a sin, she would not regret killing Zhou Yaowei at all. Those who seek Tao must not commit the sin of killing. However, if she was bullied by others and could not fight back, then she might as well not cultivate Tao. As soon as she finishes her words, Zhou Yaowei in front of her disintegrates into pieces. When Lin Luoran is about to cast a spell to move forward, the fragments return to normal and become the middle-aged couple holding hands. They were Zhou Yaowei's parents. There's nothing wrong with killing my son, but what about us? Have we ever humiliated or harmed you? Zhou Guojun looks dignified. His official prestige is very strong. At first glance, Zhou Guojun is in a high position and holds great power. Lin Luoran doesn't even dare to look up to such a big shot, let alone question him face to face. You vicious woman, return my way, or's life. Madame Zhou's tone was overbearing, her words sinister. These two people were a perfect match, truly a noble couple. You can't answer, can you? Hypocritical, vicious woman. Lin Luoran lowers her head. She remembers burning down the Zhou's house and killing the Zhou couple. If she could go back in time, she would still choose to kill the Zhou couple without hesitation to avoid future troubles. However, facing the torture of the devil inside, Lin Luoran presses her lips tightly. She can't refute that she is not wrong. In this world, there is no such thing as hurting one's own family. Lin Luoran is just taking precautions. After killing Zhou Yaowei, she also hurt the Zhou family. Not only did she kill Zhou Yaowei's parents, but she also indirectly caused the collapse of the Zhou family. Time flies. This is the only flaw in her Taoist heart since she started cultivation. Lin Luoran can't refute. The two figures are approaching her step by step. Lin Luoran clenches her fists. The bone boat stops at this crucial moment. Outside the misty protective shield, the Zhou couple is arrogant. Lin Luoran presses her lips tightly without saying a word. She hasn't crossed half of the long strait, but time waits for no one. A quarter of an hour. She only has a quarter of an hour to cross the sea of sin. Otherwise, she will stay here forever like the mermaid and never be reincarnated. Lin Luoran's eyes are cold. She thinks of her determination to have a family reunion and cultivate together since she started cultivation. Lin Luoran unconsciously loosens her clenched fists. Since she has become a sin, why should she be afraid that this sin will torture her conscience? What is sin and what is right? So what if it is the sea of sin? Can the real immortals in Mount Penglai prove the supreme Tao of immortality without staining their hands? On a lonely boat that is about to be overturned by the strong wind and big waves, there are two arrogant figures in front of the boat. Behind the boat there are huge waves. Lin Luoran's skirt is blown around by the fierce wind. The woman who is about to be overturned by the huge waves has a disdainful look on her face. She questions the so-called sea of sin for the first time. Lin Luoran ignores the shocked expressions of the two wandering souls in front of her and sneers, "Even if it is true, you can just take revenge on me openly. You are just a bunch of rascals who take advantage of the sea of sin to disturb my mind. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Although I can't refute it loudly, I have no regrets. I don't buy it. The world has always been ruled by the powerful. Do I have to let others bully me, humiliate me, laugh at me, despise me, hate me, and lie to me? As a nobody, I can only tolerate him, let him, avoid him, endure him, respect him, and ignore him. After a few more years, I will see if God will accept him or not." The Zhou couple did not directly hurt the Lin family. However, without their connivance and acquiescence, how could Zhou Yaowei end up like this? The two phantoms take off their disguise. They look ferocious. Lin Luoran doesn't retreat this time. She takes a step forward and stands in front of the boat. I don't care if you feel guilty or at ease. When you become successful in personal ability enhancement, there will be heaven's doom to judge you. You ghosts, just disappear. The two phantoms are shattered by her words. A black tornado forms in the sea of sin, trying to suck the small bone boat into it. Lin Luoran casts a spell with both hands. The boat goes straight up and goes through the tornadoes of different sizes. Who dares to say that he has never done anything deceptive in his life? The winner is the king, and the loser must be the king. Lin Luoran is not perfect. She has done something deceptive. She has also saved ordinary people and done a lot of good deeds. Lin Luoran has lived for decades. She may have done something wrong, but she has never done anything wrong. If people don't offend me, I won't offend them. The black wind hurts her cheeks. Lin Luoran's eyes are firm. She steers the boat with both hands and narrowly avoids the tornadoes and water whirlpools of different sizes. Lin Luoran turns a deaf ear to the howling of the monkeys on both sides of the Sea of Sin. She steers the boat with all her strength. In the blink of an eye, she has crossed more than half of the Sea of Sin. Lin Luoran can see the end of the Black Sea in 3 minutes with her eyesight. It is a soft beach like a paradise on earth. That gentle light made her eyes soften involuntarily. She has 2 minutes to avoid the last big whirlpool. The attraction of the Black Sea makes her unable to relax. When she is about to abandon the boat and go ashore, a wall of water suddenly appears in front of Lin Luoran. The pretty and sorrowful figure stood there, delicate and weak, on the verge of tears. "It's too cold here. Can you stay with me?" The beautiful blue tail, sad expression, big and innocent eyes, and the natural ability to navigate the water, it is the mermaid whose head Lin Luoran thought was bitten off. Was everything that had happened just a hallucination? Chapter 377. How many things in the world are just illusions created by our imagination? In this Black Sea of Sin, the road ahead is a soft beach which represents the hope of survival. However, the beautiful mermaid whose head should have been bitten off is standing in front of the boat. At this moment, Lin Luoran can't tell what is illusion and what is reality. Is it really the ghosts of the 3 members of the Zhou family that she has seen before? Or is it all just a conspiracy of the mermaid in front of her? The water wall blocks the way ahead. There are only 3 minutes left. Does she want to stay with her? Lin Luoran sneers. They both know that mortals who don't cross the Sea of Sin within a quarter of an hour and try to board Penglai will stay in this Sea of Sin forever and can't enter reincarnation. Isn't this the time when the real plan is revealed? Lin Luoran has an idea and summons the bright sword. The blue pearl formed by the tears of the mermaid is particularly dazzling at this moment. Lin Luoran has never thought that one day she will fight the legendary mermaid. This is the favorite of the water nationality. It is born with the powerful ability to manipulate water reiki. Even its tears to the moon can become a material for cultivators to refine magic weapons of the water nationality. What about the mermaid itself? Lin Luoran clenches the hilt of the sword. She tiptoes on the bone boat and her whole body has been floating in the air. Without the protection of the bone boat, Lin Luoran can hardly keep her figure in the air because of the fierce wind in the Sea of Sin. She flies with the sword in her hand. The flying sword flies out of her hand and slashes at the mermaid in the air. The mermaid laughs at Lin Luoran. The water curtain approaches little by little, like a 4-sided cage closing, trying to trap Lin Luoran in it. Lin Luoran's smile is even more dazzling when she sees the indifference of the mermaid. The resentful black seawater splashes up and wets Lin Luoran's clothes. The mermaid smiles complacently. The flying sword is not only of the water nationality but also based on the blue pearl of mermaid tears. How can such a magic weapon hurt her? As for the Sea of Sin, it is the most poisonous thing in the world. It can corrode bones and flesh and destroy magic weapons. It contains the power of ghosts and is extremely insidious. This human female cultivator is too careless. The mermaid turns into a blue smoke and avoids Lin Luoran's sword light. The bright sword slashes at the void, stirring up several black waves. The sword light makes a sizzling sound. It is indeed a poisonous water that can destroy magic treasures. When the mermaid reappears, she is behind Lin Luoran. Seeing that Lin Luoran covers her face and squats down, she knows that Lin Luoran's face must have been eroded by the water of the Black Sea. She gently pushes Lin Luoran's back. Lin Luoran has fallen into the Sea of Sin and is swept away by the black waves. The mermaid's blue fishtail sweeps in the water and she can't hide her joy. No one has ever escaped from the Sea of Sin. This human female cultivator is doomed. She grabbed the bright sword that had lost its master's command in the air. The bright sword is still beating, resisting the touch of the mermaid. The mermaid touches the blue pearl on the hilt of the sword and whispers a few words. The bright sword is beating in her hand. The mermaid sneers, "Even if your master is still alive, a quarter of an hour will pass in the blink of an eye. She will stay in the sea of sin forever and will never be reincarnated." As if to confirm what the mermaid said, a black wave comes and the floating skeleton boat is also capsized. The black tide quickly drowns it. This boat finally sinks to the bottom of the sea of sin like its master. The trembling of the bright sword has gradually calmed down. The mermaid's smile is deep in her eyes. Compared with her sadness a moment ago, her smile is gorgeous. It is more in line with the legendary mermaid who lives in the blue sea. Having lived in the sea of sin for so long, the mermaid has a deep understanding of a quarter of an hour in the sea of sin. Not more or less than a quarter of an hour. It must be exactly the same as a quarter of an hour. Intruders who don't rush out of the sea of sin will be entangled with the dark sea endlessly like skeletons at the bottom of the water. She has lived such a life for thousands of years. Today is probably the end. The mermaid raises her head. Outside the black wind in the sea of sin, there is a bright moon. When that moment comes, will the bright moonlight break through the darkness of the sea of sin and lead her to a wholly new life? As long as she thinks that she can get out of this damn place, the mermaid is excited. She raises her head and closes her eyes. Tears flow down slowly. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, the hourglass of time is leaking quietly. The tears of the mermaid have not yet turned into precious blue pearls. On the soft beach not far from the sea, a hand with a moon-white pearl tied to it stretches out. Almost at the last second, Lin Luoran, who should have been swallowed by the sea of sin and a human cultivator who is bound to die in the eyes of the mermaid, suddenly jumps out of the water. She collapses on the beach, gasping heavily. The mermaid turns her head in surprise. The teardrop is still hanging on the corner of her eye. The bright sword in her hand has left her hand when she is not paying attention and returns to the arms of its master. Seeing the traces of corrosion on the bright sword caused by the water of the sea of sin, Lin Luoran can't help showing a distressed look. If the bright sword with mermaid's tears hadn't helped her distract the attention of the mermaid temporarily, Lin Luoran's plan of sneaking into the sea of sin might not have worked. Thinking that she might have stayed in the dark sea forever in less than 2 seconds, Lin Luoran feels cold all over even though she is safe now. How is it possible? How can you not die? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. The tears of joy fall from the mermaid's eyes. They turn into a blue pearl and roll into the dark sea and disappear. Because she seems to be crazy, the sea of sin is even more stormy than when Lin Luoran sailed. The black turbulent whirlpool and the tornadoes make the rocks on both sides creak. The mermaid has obviously lost her mind because of Lin Luoran's escape. Lin Luoran doesn't bother to talk to her. She dries her clothes and stands up on the beach. She is ready to go deep into the dunes. Don't go. Talk to me. Talk to me, okay? The mermaid's bitter plea comes from behind. Lin Luoran turns a deaf ear to it. She holds her skirt and disappears on the soft beach step by step. If it weren't for the series of footprints, the mermaid would even doubt whether a human female cultivator has ever passed the sea of sin safely after so many years. How is it possible? The water of the sea of sin can corrode everything and stain magic weapons. She is just a human female cultivator of the bearing essence period. Does she already have a body comparable to a magic weapon? She doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe it. What she doesn't believe is that she actually failed. Peng Lai is ethereal. Maybe no one will come again after another 1,000 years. The mermaid laughs desperately. No one can understand the pain of begging for death. She doesn't want to live anymore. She just wants someone to kill her. Please kill me. I'll give you many treasures on the bottom of the sea, okay? Kill me. Her bloody plea can make people cry. She is sent far away by the evil wind swirling around the beach. In fact, this is just the mermaid talking to herself. She never expects the female cultivator she tried to kill before to respond to her. Just like before, she was hopeful at the beginning and then desperate. In the end, she almost doesn't expect to leave this damn place one day. The mysterious round stone shows up. The mermaid covers her face and cries bitterly. The ugly big fish comforts her with its back. It doesn't know what to do. No one knows who first spread the rumor that as long as a scapegoat is found, the soul bound by the sea of sin can be replaced. The mermaid comes later than these souls. How can she believe it? Why doesn't this stubborn little mermaid believe in fate? Being trapped in the sea of sin is the final destination of these sinful existences. I've thought about it for a long time. There must be a reason why a person does something. We are both humble beings who come to this spirit mountain for our own purpose. Just because you can't cross the sea of sin, you won't let me go? The mermaid looks up incredulously. The human female cultivator who should have never returned is standing on the beach and staring at them. She seems to be thinking about a serious problem. Although she can't figure out why the human female cultivator comes back, the mermaid still feels that her eyes are sore again. She stares at the female cultivator blankly. Lin Luoran seems to have made a big decision. I mean, if it is possible for you to get out of the sea of sin, you just need to pay your faith. Do you think it's a good deal? The female cultivator in cyan dress frowns. Maybe she is not satisfied with this condition, or she hates the mermaid's original intention of killing her. In short, she is obviously reluctant to talk. However, the mermaid and even the howling apes on both sides of the sea of sin stop abruptly. The sea of sin is quiet. Everyone is tempted by the possibility in Lin Luoran's words. Chapter 378. Lin Luoran won't admit that it's her good-natured nature that makes her want to take care of the sea of sin. Well, it must be because Fire Phoenix said that purifying the resentful spirits in this sea is of great significance to the condensation of her godhead, so she came back. Offer my faith? The mermaid is stunned, the big-headed steel-toothed fish is stunned, and many demons in the sea of sin are stunned. Trapped by the sea of sin, the resentful spirits here have survived for a long time. The longest lifespan can be traced back to 10,000 years ago. When there were still true immortals in Penglai, no immortal was willing to lower his head to look at them, let alone a true immortal who planned to save them. They are all sinners, so they can't cross the sea of sin. This is the consensus of all the demons in the sea of sin. At this time, when they hear that someone promises to help them get out of this damn place, the first reaction of these demons is not joy but disbelief. Yes, I don't believe it at all. Where is this place? The sea of sin that will never enter reincarnation. Out of the 24 hours in a day, there would be 20 hours where the evil wind would blow. The evil wind would cause these souls, which had been painstakingly condensed, to scatter at the slightest discomfort. When they condensed again, the process would repeat itself. In the remaining 2 hours, the tide of the sea of sin makes the demons even more painful. The tide is sticky. Tornadoes and water whirlpools can tear these demons into pieces. Once they die, they will slowly regain their consciousness forever. When they remember the past, they will experience the pain again. There is no way to survive or die. This is the terrible thing about the sea of sin. But now, a green-robed female cultivator said that she wanted to help them? The mermaid is stunned. She suppresses a trace of ridicule in her heart and asks curiously, compared with the belief you said, I'm more curious about how you got up from the sea of sin. The black sea of sin is corrosive. Lin Luoran smiles faintly. Anyone who has stayed in a place like the blood pool for 3 years will not be afraid of such strong seawater. However, she wanted to do a good deed, but these vengeful spirits didn't believe her, so there was nothing she could do. Lin Luoran doesn't insist. Thinking of the wonderful world she saw on the beach, she decides to explore it first. Seeing that Lin Luoran leaves without hesitation, the mermaid is stunned again. Lin Luoran doesn't play by the rules. Logically speaking, if she wants something, she should continue to persuade him. Why does she give up? Seeing that Lin Luoran is really gone, demons come out from the bottom of the sea of sin. They gather around the mermaid, whispering and expressing their opinions. Is this true or false? They keep talking, and the evil wind blows on the surface of the sea of sin again. The demons hide back to the bottom of the sea with unresolved questions. The mermaid watches Lin Luoran's back disappearing into the dense forest on the beach. The wind is coming. She grits her teeth and jumps into the sea. This green-robed female cultivator was most likely using them for fun. How hateful! Hiding under the thick black seawater, the mermaid is indignant. She will not admit that this is the anger of having a glimmer of hope extinguished. Lin Luoran doesn't have time to pay attention to the worries of these resentful spirits. Whether or not they can be saved is not something that can be solved in a day or two. She is not in a hurry. At this moment, she was still shocked by what she saw. After the Sea of Sin, there is an isolated island. It is recorded in the information given by Yang Lisha. Maybe the senior practitioner who wrote the ancient book of monsters of Wood thinks this place is not a strange place. However, Lin Luoran is still surprised when she passes by several ferns that are taller than her. Under the Kalahari Desert, she has seen mutated plants and animals that are completely different from those on the earth. However, most of them have mutated, so they are not as shocking as the scene in front of her. Lin Luoran has never been familiar with ferns since she was a child. In spring, the tips of ferns are only half a foot long. They have just emerged and their leaves haven't come out yet. They are the most delicious food in the countryside when they are fried with bacon. Such tall ferns may have buds that are more than half a foot long. Lin Luoran thinks for a while and digs a few of them to put in the space. Since the space became larger, she has become a plant collector. She wants to get all kinds of plants to fill the space. Lin Luoran also finds coconut-like plants on the edge of the beach. There are many ripe fruits on the ground. They are brown and round, but they are 3 times larger than the coconuts planted in the space. Lin Luoran covers her fingertips with a layer of gold wachan. With a gentle stroke, cracks appear on the surface of the round thing. She breaks it open and finds the milky white flesh with some light fragrant juice. It is indeed the coconut in her memory. Like the ferns, they are a little too big. Lin Luoran quietly transfers 2 coconut trees to the space. The species in this place are different from those in the outside world. Lin Luoran has seen the lost continent full of Reiki in the secret land of Bermuda. The plants here are full of Reiki at most, but they have never mutated like this. Lin Luoran is not sure about the abnormality of this place, so she continues to walk forward. What she sees along the way confirms her vague suspicion. A multicolored golden pheasant walked through the ferns all over the ground. Its long tail dragging on the ground was at least 2 meters long, and its comb was raised high. The way it walked with its head held high made it look like a young general who had just left the battlefield. Of course, it is also very big, far larger than ordinary pheasants. Lin Luoran still vaguely remembers that in the Mesozoic era, there were probably crocodiles and lizards. How come there are also golden pheasants? Maybe she guesses wrong. Lin Luoran continues to explore. This island is vast and boundless. She doesn't dare to explore with her spiritual mind before figuring out what is difficult to deal with. She is afraid of disturbing some mountain kings, which will lead to another fierce battle. At this time, she only explores with her legs. There is a mountain in the middle of the island that she can see from a distance. The place where Lin Luoran is now is just a buffer zone between the beach and the island land, far from the center. Lin Luoran is cautious. She only wanders around the edge for half a day. In addition to finding some unusual plants, Lin Luoran sees the golden pheasant on the way. This is fate. However, the golden pheasant may not think so. When Lin Luoran sees it again, the golden pheasant is in a mess. Its coxcomb flowers are all broken. It steps on many ferns and runs in the forest. Its claws are long and thin. It runs very fast. It seems that it is running for its life. Lin Luoran immediately uses the breath-holding spell and hides in the tree. It turns out that it is a big lizard that is chasing the golden pheasant in panic. The lizard is also 3 meters long. At first glance, it looks like a crocodile. Its body is covered with thin scales and its limbs are strong. When it runs, its tail swings from side to side, splashing dust and leaves all over the ground. The golden pheasant may be desperate. Seeing that it is about to fall into the mouth of the lizard, It flaps its wings and jumps to a big branch not far from the tree where Lin Luoran is hiding. This place is 7 or 8 meters above the ground. The golden pheasant glides with its wings, but in her memory, lizards can climb trees. It seems that the golden pheasant is not safe. Lin Luoran guesses that the golden pheasant will probably die in the end. However, the golden pheasant on the tree seems to recover. It opens its mouth and spits fire at the lizard that is trying to climb on the net. Blue fire? Lin Luoran is shocked. Even with her eyesight, she can't see that the golden pheasant is a monster. Lin Luoran's eyebrows are twitching. Subconsciously, she uses the breath-holding spell to hide. It is not strange that there are monsters on the island. What is strange is that she can't see their strength at all, as if their true faces are deliberately covered by someone. You can't see it? Even if she has no eyesight, the 3 guys in the space should have sensed it in advance, right? After waiting for a long time, Lin Luoran doesn't hear the 3 guys in the space. She feels strange and decides to leave the dense forest first. The golden pheasant can spit fire, and the lizard's thin scales are also extremely tough. The fire has no effect on it. It turns over and hits the tree angrily. It seems that the fierce battle will last quite a long time. Lin Luoran is about to quietly return to the beach, but the light above her head is suddenly blocked. She looks up and sees a flying creature that looks like a pterosaur but is definitely bigger than a pterosaur. It seems to regard the golden pheasant and the lizard who are fighting to death as prey. It hovers above the canopy of the dense forest. Lin Luoran is a little confused. Who can tell her where is this place? Why are there monsters and dinosaurs? Lin Luoran still can't see through the cultivation of this ridiculously huge pterosaur creature, even if she uses her clear eyes. This is really not a very pleasant realization. At the moment when she is distracted, the pterosaur has already swooped down. To Lin Luoran's surprise, its target is neither the golden pheasant nor the lizard, but her on the tree. Chapter 379. Holding the huge head, Lin Luoran is a bit embarrassed when she returns to the beach again. She throws away the grass at the end of her hair with her left hand. The blood of the pterosaur is scattered all over the ground. She drags the head to the beach and then she can relax. This pterosaur's single combat ability is definitely beyond the middle period of laying foundation. Its skin is rough and its flesh is thick. Although Lin Luoran has never fought with a cultivator in the late period of laying foundation, she can still fight with it. What's more, before it died, she couldn't see through its personal ability at all. Lin Luoran underestimated it. After it died, Lin Luoran found that there was an energy center hidden in its head, so she cut off its head. The edge of the dense forest is so dangerous. Lin Luoran has to temporarily return to the beach before figuring out the strangeness of this place. The Black Sea is still rolling. Lin Luoran uses the bright sword to split the head which weighs dozens of kilograms. She fumbles in the blood. It turns out that the energy center she can feel is a round green and blue bead. Is it a monster bolus? It seems to be completely different from the energy crystals given by Master Mu and others. Lin Luoran feels that she can absorb the energy in the monster bolus. The energy of the monster bolus is modeled. I advise you not to absorb it directly. Is it Fire Phoenix? Lin Luoran ignores the eyes of the demons in the Sea of Sin. She takes the monster bolus directly into the space. You 3 always brag about how powerful you are. You can't even find your shadow at the critical moment. Fire Phoenix sighs, we were careless. That place is very strange. You can meet a rank 4 monster comparable to the period of laying foundation on the outer edge. There is also a big thing in the center. You can't attract its attention if you break in alone. If we show up, you probably won't be able to leave today. Lin Luoran touches the monster bolus and is silent for a moment. I often hear about monsters and monster cultivators. How are their ranks defined? Fire Phoenix is so old that she can't say it clearly, and Silverfish doesn't have a good memory. Woodwolf knows it best. Only those who can transform are called monster cultivators. Those who can't are all monsters. Some monsters can transform at rank 4 or 4. Monster cultivators who haven't learned arts of nature, such as wild foxes and weasels, are just ordinary little monsters. They can't show up. There are also those with unusual talents who can't transform for a long time. However, once they transform, they become big monsters. Demonic beasts could be divided into 9 ranks. 9 was the most respected, and it was said that a rank 9 demonic beast was comparable to a soul formation cultivator. Those that had surpassed the 9th rank and had yet to take human form were only divine beasts and immortal beasts. They could no longer be called demonic beasts. According to the division of you human cultivators, the first and second stages are equivalent to the chi refining stage, the third and fourth stages are equivalent to the foundation establishment stage, the fifth and sixth stages are equivalent to the core formation stage, the seventh and eighth stages are equivalent to the nascent soul stage, and the ninth stage is equivalent to the deity transformation stage. For the first time, Lin Luoran understands the clear classification of monsters. She is stunned. Red, the big guy in the center of the island you mentioned, is it a rank 9 monster? Fire Phoenix disdainfully curls her lips. At that time, I didn't divide these little beasts into stages. It was this wolf cub who said that. The island is so strange that Lin Luoran can't see through the cultivation of monsters with her clear eyes. She can only see through the cultivation of monsters like the pterosaur after she kills it. Just like Fire Phoenix and others can sense the rank 9 monster in the center of the island, if they show their traces on the island, that thing must be able to sense it too. Having figured this out, Lin Luoran no longer cares about the fact that Fire Phoenix and others didn't warn her on the island. She is just in the early bearing essence stage. In the eyes of the rank 9 monster, she is just a rank 5 little monster. That's why it didn't make things difficult for her when she broke into the island. The gap between their realms is too big, so it didn't regard her as an enemy worthy of attention. However, if she wants to move forward, she has to cross the island. Does she have to face the rank 9 monster directly? This idea is too discouraging. Lin Luoran has to think of a plan. She then asks if the monster bolus can't be absorbed directly, isn't it a waste of the huge wacken? Woodwolf smiles but says nothing. Lin Luoran can't stand its arrogance. The silver fish kindly tells her that the bolus above the rank 5 needs to be used as medicine. So, you human cultivators and monsters have been at odds since ancient times. It's not without reason. Woodwolf shakes its head and concludes. Lin Luoran finally understands the real meaning of killing monsters and devils. In addition to the ones that are really harmful to one side, it is probably closely related to their monster bolus and materials. For example, the claws of the pterosaur should be used for refining weapons. Lin Luoran puts the rank 4 pterosaur monster bolus in space and appears on the beach. She disappears and reappears so suddenly that the demons in the Sea of Sin can't adapt to it. The mermaid is circling on the shore and she is caught off guard by Lin Luoran's sudden appearance. Lin Luoran is still thinking about how to cross the island. She has no time to deal with the mermaid. If they believe her, they can have a fair deal. If they don't believe her, she doesn't have to be a good person. If she really wants the power of faith, she can show up several times after she goes out. She can probably get a lot of it. In this space of different dimensions, the sun rises and the moon sets as usual, just like the outside world. The night comes as scheduled. Lin Luoran sits cross-legged on the beach to meditate and cultivate. When she finishes her cultivation, the moon is already in the middle of the sky. This moon is different from the outside world. It is bright red and looks very creepy. Lin Luoran feels hungry. She takes out the huge coconut she picked up before and splits it in half. She uses the coconut shell as a pot and casually cooks something to eat. Ignoring the mermaid's fierce eyes, she sneaks into the jungle of the island again. There are only a few feathers of the golden pheasant left in the place where they fought. The confronting golden pheasant and lizard are scared away by Lin Luoran's previous battle with the pterosaur. Except for the messy footprints and feathers of the golden pheasant, the thrill of the afternoon can still be seen. The jungle at night is extremely silent. Lin Luoran can see things at night. She moves silently in the jungle. She thinks she has hidden very well, but she is still locked by a leopard when she moves less than 10 miles. The leopard that can survive here is not an ordinary leopard. Lin Luoran is disappointed. Whether it is the breath-holding spell or the mini-world, she seems to be a naked light source in the eyes of monsters on this island. The means of disguise can't work at all. The bitter thing is that monsters can see her, but she can't see through their personal ability. When she meets these monsters, she doesn't even know whether to fight or to escape. Wait, the rank 4 pterosaur is only equivalent to the personal ability of the laying foundation period. It also dares to treat her as prey. Does it mean that monsters can't see through each other's personal ability just like her? Lin Luoran soon realizes the strangeness of this island. If they can't see through each other's personal ability and the coercion of different ranks is nothing to be afraid of, then there must be many low-rank monsters challenging the high-rank monsters in order to hunt for food. The competition on this island is so fierce. No wonder the monsters she meets are all extremely belligerent. Lin Luoran thinks very quickly. The leopard has already rushed over with the wind at its feet. The strength of the pterosaur is flexibility and speed. Lin Luoran is caught off guard and suffers a little loss. She can't see through the personal ability of this leopard, so she doesn't dare to be careless. She uses extremely sharp sword skills as soon as she comes up. The leopard's claws carry wind and ice and snow. After a flash, Lin Luoran finds that a big tree beside her is frozen and cracked. What a powerful ice claw! However, Lin Luoran immediately realizes that both of them are using the water spells. She uses fire spells to fight against the leopard and gets the upper hand after a few rounds. After 3 or 4 moves, Lin Luoran knows that this leopard of the water is probably at the rank 4, no higher than the personal ability of the laying foundation period. Lin Luoran is relieved. Low-rank monsters are not very intelligent. They are lured away by her feint and are finally killed by Lin Luoran with a fire arrow. The arrow of light can be used to fight against enemies of a higher rank. It is not too difficult to use it to deal with a rank 4 monster. Lin Luoran doesn't hesitate to dig out monster boluses and continue to move forward. Lin Luoran returns to the beach at dawn. Her face is full of exhaustion. Her hair is messy and her clothes are covered with blood. Most of them are monsters' blood and some are hers. This night, she only moves forward for less than 100 miles. On the way, she has encountered 9 monsters that actively attack her. The lowest one is a rank 1 fire rabbit. The last one is a winged tiger. Lin Luoran suspects that it is at least a rank 6 monster. She only digs out 8 monster boluses. After a night of exhaustion, she can hardly escape from the winged tiger. The spreading mountains are still in the depth of the island. Looking from afar, there is only a vague outline under the sky. Roughly speaking, it is at least hundreds of miles away. Chapter 380. Lin Luoran harvests more and more monster boluses and materials. The proportion of her wounded body on the beach becomes more and more obvious. One day, she stumbles out of the dense forest again. When she steps into the relatively safe beach, she almost collapses. The fingertips of her right hand have been trembling, and there is even a tiny wound between her thumb and index finger which is bleeding. Lin Luoran can't even believe that she just escaped from a rank 7 monster. To be more precise, she survived the fight between 2 monsters of at least rank 8, which saved her from the claws of the rank 7 monster. However, although she is badly injured, the rank 7 monster is not so good. Thinking of the monster's claws which she cut off unexpectedly, Lin Luoran feels it is a pity. If she could pick it up, it would be a good material for refining weapons. Lin Luoran rarely fights with others on the way of personal ability enhancement. In the past few months, she has fought 7 or 8 battles every day on this weird monster island. Whether she wins or loses, gains a lot from monsters, or escapes an embarrassment, Lin Luoran grows up quickly under such training. Although there is still a soft, pure land in her heart, the mermaid has been quietly observing her and trying to figure out the secrets of this female cultivator in green dress. She is still very sensitive to her changes. Speaking of which, the personal ability of bearing essence is not a great thing. At least in the era when the mermaid was not trapped in the sea of sin, a cultivator in the bearing essence period was nothing in the eyes of the people of the water nationality like her. So what is so special about this female cultivator in green dress? First of all, she can climb ashore in the Sea of Sin. At first, the mermaid thought that she relied on some amazing spirit treasure to protect her. After months of observation, she basically ruled out this suspicion. There is probably no one in the world who is born to be cheap. With the amazing spirit treasure that cannot be damaged in the Sea of Sin, she still has to go to the island and get injured by monsters every day. It's not that she has eaten too much and is in a hurry to go to the island. One day, when Lin Luoran drags the corpse of a green bear monster which is on the verge of rank 6 back to the beach, the mermaid finally understands this female cultivator in green dress. Lin Luoran still has the personal ability of the early bearing essence period. However, she is dragging the corpse of a green bear monster which is on the verge of rank 6, which is equivalent to the late bearing essence period. A grade 5 flying sword in Lin Luoran's hand can't make up for the gap of 2 small realms. The mermaid doesn't even bother to think about what kind of trick Lin Luoran used to kill this green bear. Compared with the bruised body of the green bear, the living Lin Luoran looks more ferocious. Although she has lost her body, the mermaid's eyesight is still there. She can tell at a glance that Lin Luoran's internal organs are seriously injured under the surface scars. It was common for cultivators to engage in combat when encountering an enemy, but it was rare for them to be able to force their opponent to the point of breaking their arms and legs. Lin Luoran's internal organs are damaged because 3 of her ribs are broken and the bones are inserted into her internal organs. Even for a cultivator with a strong body, it is still shocking that Lin Luoran can walk so far. What's more, she was supposed to be a delicate female cultivator. What's more, in addition to 3 broken ribs, even her hand which is dragging the green bear is hanging down powerlessly. Whacken all over her body, multiple fractures and broken ribs are inserted into her internal organs. Cultivators in the period of bearing essence haven't cultivated their primordial spirit, so they can't choose to possess like gathering vitality cultivators. Although they are cultivators, they only have one life like ordinary people. Why is this female cultivator in cyan dress who only has one life so stubborn? Or is stubbornness a deep-rooted nature for this female cultivator? In the eyes of the mermaid, Lin Luoran is like a stalk of grass that can't be trampled to death. Every time she fails, she will make progress. She is not afraid of the dangerous jungle on the island. After healing, she will even face challenges with a more energetic look. When a stubborn person has the trait of prudence, she will become extremely difficult to deal with. The mermaid feels that she has seen through Lin Luoran, who loves to wear cyan dress. She will never admit that after observing her for a few months, she still can't figure out why Lin Luoran talked nonsense and wanted to ferry these demons. This is a fact that the mermaid is so depressed that she can't even cover up the evil wind tearing her body. Well, she is just a stubborn female cultivator like those smelly and hard stones at the bottom of the Sea of Sin. The mermaid is indignant. When Lin Luoran looks at her, she dives back to the bottom of the sea with a guilty conscience. Lin Luoran takes her eyes back casually. After living next to each other for a few months, she never mentioned about ferrying them. Does it make the mermaid impatient? Things in this world are so strange. When you bend down and try to pull someone out of the mire, the sufferers who have nothing to rely on and are waiting for death will even doubt your intentions. However, if you take a high position and wait for these desperate people to take the initiative to grab the last straw, everything will become completely different. Do you cherish the opportunity you get by begging? Lin Luoran doesn't say yes or no. After a few months of adventures, Lin Luoran grows up quickly. The experience of escaping from death for countless times and almost dying in the hands of seemingly insignificant monsters has magnified the cautiousness factor in her character countless times. Compared with her previous soft-heartedness, Lin Luoran feels that she is leaning towards the former glorious but dog-eat-dog image of a cultivator who speaks with strength. She hates that she is about to become this kind of person she used to despise. However, the reality tells her that this is indeed the price to pay for growth. Lin Luoran's temperament has changed from a pool of still water to a feeling of a sword in a box which is about to be unsheathed. Yes, the sword is in a box. In an environment like the island, if she doesn't hide her edge, it means that she will be much more dangerous. The painful experience of killing a rank 6 monster on the verge of death has taught Lin Luoran the strategy of survival on the island. With her physique, she has to lie on the beach for more than a month before she can sneak into the interior of the island to investigate the route again. During this month, Lin Luoran has been thinking a lot. In the past half a year, apart from collecting monster boluses and precious materials from monsters, Lin Luoran's most successful mission is today. In the beginning, she only covered a distance of dozens of miles, but she was not discovered by a rank 7 monster until she reached the foot of the mountain on the island. It is already more than 400 miles into the center of the island. In the past half a year, after defeating countless low-level monsters, Lin Luoran has learned how to survive in the dangerous monster camp in blood, just like those cubs who have an epiphany after experiencing a survival crisis. Today, she has successfully sneaked for more than 400 miles before being discovered by a rank 7 monster. Preserving good combat power is the key to her escape. Of course, Lin Luoran's ultimate goal is not to escape from a rank 7 monster. Her destination is not this peaceful beach, but the place behind the towering mountain, closer to Mount Penglai. Therefore, her goal is never how to escape back to the beach, but how to climb over the mountain and challenge the dignity of a rank 9 monster while saving her life. For this goal, she can even acquiesce to become cold-blooded temporarily. You really don't care about them? Fire Phoenix's voice is a little surprised. It has been watching Lin Luoran from the beginning. Fire Phoenix knows better than many people that this female cultivator always has the weakness of being soft-hearted in some aspects. She has screwed up a lot of things. However, when Lin Luoran really abandons this weakness, Fire Phoenix still feels that Lin Luoran is more lovely and plump. She is more like the former owner of the space many years ago. She is full of flesh and blood instead of a gloomy cultivator who is as thin as a piece of paper in the world of cultivation. She cultivates her power but not her mind. The them, mentioned by Fire Phoenix at this time, is obviously the countless ghosts in the Sea of Sin. Of course, it will not be soft-hearted. It just feels a little pity that such a large number of ghosts can bring a qualitative leap to Lin Luoran's power of faith. Proud as Fire Phoenix is, it will never admit that there is a trace of disappointment in this pity. Lin Luoran lowers her head and smiles. This is an opportunity. If I can climb over the mountain where the rank 9 monster is, I will certainly not risk coming back for these ungrateful ghosts. Fire Phoenix is speechless. The mermaid only guesses Lin Luoran's situation in the jungle every time she comes back to the beach in embarrassment. However, Fire Phoenix stays in the space and can't show up, but it can more directly witness Lin Luoran's transformation process. The mermaid hides in the shoal connecting the beach and the Sea of Sin and frowns. She doesn't understand who Lin Luoran is talking to, which makes the mermaid vigilant. More importantly, Lin Luoran's words reveal the meaning. Is this female cultivator in cyan going to break through the mountain? The mermaid sighs that the young people are overreaching themselves. Meanwhile, she frowns and thinks deeply. If it is impossible for a female cultivator of the bearing essence period to break through the mountain guarded by the rank 9 monster, it is also impossible for ghosts like them to get out of the Sea of Sin. The difference is that whether the female cultivator in cyan dies in the hands of the rank 9 monster or seizes the 1 in a million chance to slip through the forbidden land of Mountain Mist, she will never return to the beach next to the Sea of Sin, as she said. Whether Lin Luoran dies in the depths of the island full of monsters or disappears at the junction of the sky and the horizon, the result is the same for the ghosts in the Sea of Sin. What they lose is obviously an opportunity. It may be the last chance to escape the Sea of Sin. Faith? The mermaid hiding in the dark has been struggling for a long time. It is not that she can't use this thing to exchange. What she is worried about is that among the ghosts who survive in the Sea of Sin, who still have faith, which sounds like it is from a different world from them. It is nonsense to talk about faith with the ghosts in the Sea of Sin. I know the number of updates these days is nonsense, but I have decided to go home on the 12th. I should be able to update twice on the 13th. Please forgive me for a few days. Chapter 381. After exploring the way for half a year, Lin Luoran feels that she has learned a lot about this jungle. At least, she knows how to hide her breath even if she doesn't rely on space. She also knows how to find the least toxic food in a pile of colorful mushrooms and berries that won't cause any adverse reaction. Of course, this is just the most basic survival skills in the jungle. The closer to the center of the mountain where monsters are above rank 6, Lin Luoran needs to make a more detailed and thorough plan. This day, early in the morning, she puts all her daily utensils into space on the beach and wipes her flying sword repeatedly. It seems that she is ready to leave. The neighbors, who have been watching for a long time, finally stop Lin Luoran under the leadership of the mermaid. At that time, the blood moon has just disappeared. The early morning light shines on the determined and straight back of Lin Luoran. When Lin Luoran turns her head in the uneasiness of the demons, the mermaid's heart slightly moves. She seems to have touched the edge of faith. "You don't think that I am so free, do you?" Lin Luoran stares at the mermaid with a faint smile. The mermaid only sees the indifference in Lin Luoran's smile, and her confidence suddenly stagnates. Yes, this female cultivator is obviously going to break into the center of the island today. As she said, why should she stop for a group of exiled demons? They didn't accept her kindness at first. Lin Luoran's smile gradually fades. She turns around and steps into the green danger zone on the island. Wait! Lin Luoran stops and there is a faint smile on her lips. The mermaid struggles for a while and says fiercely, "Besides the damn faith, we will give you something else. Is that okay?" Lin Luoran laughs. "I don't care about the so-called treasures at the bottom of the sea of sin." The mermaid doesn't expect that her temptation will fail. The demons start to talk in a low voice. Lin Luoran can't understand these sound waves. She just listens to their discussion quietly with a smile on her face. The mermaid is angry in her heart. However, as the representative chosen by the demons, she can't decide this matter for herself. After hearing the demons' proposal, the mermaid is reluctant, but she has to say the conditions on behalf of them. "There is something that may help you cross that mountain." Lin Luoran's eyes light up. This time, she is not pretending to be happy. Sure enough, it is not because the temptation is not good, but the price is not high enough. The mermaid is shameless. This female cultivator still has the despicable temperament of the human race. "Wait and see. I will bring that thing with me during the next gust of evil wind." Lin Luoran nods. The evil wind blew, and the black mass of resentful spirits in the shallow water disappeared without a trace. Lin Luoran lowers her head to hide her helpless smile. The fire phoenix screams in her mind, "Hey, you are such a good actress. You almost fooled me." Since Lin Luoran has planned to edify these ghosts from the very beginning, there is no reason for her to give it up after holding back for several months. If she doesn't do this, they may just watch like this forever. Although Lin Luoran is not sure that she can cross the mountain smoothly, she will not covet the things of these poor demons. The mermaid will believe her if she thinks this way. Lin Luoran doesn't mind some unexpected gains. Although she is not sure that she can cross the mountain smoothly, she will not covet the things of these poor demons. The mermaid believes her in this way. Lin Luoran doesn't mind getting some unexpected gains. Compared with these easily deceived demons, Fire Phoenix, an old monster, doesn't believe that it doesn't see through Lin Luoran's clumsy play. Perhaps she doesn't even completely deceive the mermaid? It doesn't matter. What they need is just an excuse that they are willing to accept. Then, they will firmly grasp the olive branch offered by Lin Luoran. The wind blows away some of the thick fog lingering over the island. The sun is white and powerless like a light bulb. Lin Luoran looks into the distance. There are still more than 20 hours before the next storm. Maybe she can make some arrangements during this time. She flashes into the space and rushes into the room to rummage. After a while, she finds a few old jade boxes. Before the jade boxes are opened, Fire Phoenix and the other two have already run away like ghosts. "Are you really going to use this thing?" Fire Phoenix's voice is trembling as if this jade box contains a big killing weapon that even it is afraid of. Not only Fire Phoenix, but also Wood Wolf looks terrified after being told what is in the jade box. Lin Luoran looks at the reaction of the three of them and becomes more confident. Everything in the world exists for its own reason. It's not that those things are dirty and inferior. It's whether you can use them in the right place. Lin Luoran holds the jade box and leaves the space. The Sea of Sin is full of tornadoes and water whirlpools. Lin Luoran clenches the jade box. She enters the island this time to explore the way. She has to come back after 20 hours. Lin Luoran steps into the island. The skill of sneaking seems to have penetrated into the depths of her consciousness. She naturally blends herself into the surrounding environment. She doesn't hold her breath. She just adjusts her breathing to the frequency of ancient trees and ferns. At this time, Lin Luoran is like a walking tree. Monsters who like to eat meat are not interested in her. With this trick, Lin Luoran can already deceive monsters below rank 6. She had only walked a few miles when she encountered a gale wolf. This is the most common low-rank monster on the island. It is only a little better than the rabbit of fire at the bottom of the food chain. Most of them will stay at rank 2 monsters for life. A few of them can break through the limit of their bloodline by chance. For example, this one in front of her. According to Lin Luoran's experience in the past 6 months, it is the strongest among the wolves of wind. It is estimated to have reached rank 4. The green hair on its ears has changed color. Lin Luoran suddenly shows up from the shadow of the tree. The wolf of wind finds this piece of fat meat. It jumps over the bushes and pounces on Lin Luoran. Lin Luoran doesn't dodge. When the wolf's claws are about to touch the corner of her clothes, she holds her breath and opens the jade box in her hand. The body of the wolf of wind is still in the air. Its face is distorted. Then its whole body stiffens and it falls into the bushes. The blast wind wolf didn't care about the thorns piercing its paws. It could be considered to have fled after it snapped back to its senses. Lin Luoran holds her breath and stares at the jade box in her hand. This thing is really a killer. However, a rank 4 monster can't prove whether it really works or not. She has to continue to go deeper into the island. At least, she has to try it on a rank 8 monster. At the thought of facing a rank 8 monster, Lin Luoran's palms are sweaty. The jade box is covered with cold sweat. When the evil wind stops again, a new day is coming. The island is shrouded in mist in the early morning. The tallest mountain looks like the legendary Spirit Mountain from a distance. The mermaid is guarding the shoal with a bunch of demons. There's no figure of Lin Luoran on the beach. The mermaid looks a little embarrassed. Demons in the Sea of Sin can only be free of torture for half an hour a day. If they miss today's half an hour, she and these demons have to wait until tomorrow again. Time passes by. The mist has not dispersed yet. When the demons almost think they have been fooled, a familiar Saiyan dress appears on the edge of the jungle. At that moment, they even have the feeling of tears. Of course, demons don't even have a body, let alone tears. However, is the feeling surging in their chest just the joy of not being deceived? Seeing the blue-clothed female cultivator rush back in such a distressed state, the resentful spirits had already unknowingly planted a seed in their hearts. As long as the follow-up is right, it will germinate and bloom at the right time. The emotion will turn into emotion and then sublimate into the fruit called faith. The mermaid slightly bends her fingers. A white light flies up from the Sea of Sin and falls to the ground. It is the bone boat that Lin Luoran was knocked down by the waves. Looking at its jade-like appearance, it seems that it has not been destroyed by the seawater of the Sea of Sin. Lin Luoran puts away the bone boat. Is this what you said can help me cross the territory of the rank 9 monster? Although Lin Luoran is grateful to them for protecting the bone boat, this is just returning it to its original owner. With this bone boat, Lin Luoran really can't think of a way to cross the territory of the rank 9 monster. The mermaid grits her teeth and gives a piece of blue jade to Lin Luoran. A huge amount of water reiki rises from the blue jade. Lin Luoran feels the same breath as the blue pearl mermaid's tears. This is a treasure related to the mermaid. If you throw this jade to the monster, it should be able to buy some time. Whether you can escape or not depends on you. Lin Luoran is not pretentious. She puts away the blue jade and thanks her very sincerely. The mermaid sneers, "I just hope you keep your word." Lin Luoran nods. It will take about 9 days. Don't worry. Demons and the mermaid are all skeptical, so Lin Luoran doesn't continue to explain. They don't need a glib tongue at this time. They only need her direct action. When the evil wind in the Sea of Sin blows again, demons are forced to hide back to the bottom of the sea to avoid most of the pain. Lin Luoran has already taken out a futon and sits cross-legged on the beach. The white power of faith is flying around the fly Apsara's painted sculpture in her ocean of consciousness. Fire Phoenix said that compared with a lifelong wish, a god's wish has energy that Lin Luoran can never imagine. It is the power born of mercy. It can break through some kind of gray enchantment and send the dead to the other side of light. This is what Buddhists say. Lin Luoran has to help them cross the river in her own way. The hot sun can never shine on the cold sea of sin. Demons hide on the bottom of the sea, enduring the soul-tearing pain while waiting for the female cultivator in green dress to do something. After waiting for a long time, when demons are about to be desperate, suddenly there is a clear voice. It passes through the dark sea and illuminates the dark bottom of the sea for the first time. A female voice is repeatedly reciting a paragraph of half-written scripture, which soothes their hostile souls. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, soul to soul. However, thou needest not feel pain and sorrow. Death is the cycle of life without any concealment, hypocrisy, and darkness. I am not the hoodoo and I have no vow to incarnate into the 6 realms. I only look forward to you devoutly with a mortal heart so that you will not disappear and degenerate. The Tao has never looked down on others, for it is primordial chaos. Looking down from above, there is even less need to look down on others. The higher does not exist to abandon the lower. Instead, it exists to protect and guide others. It is to let you know that you are the seeds of eternity. I will be your parent and guide you onto the path of righteousness. Before that, I am willing to protect you for all eternity. This wish is my great journey. My Taoist name is Mortal Heart. At this moment, I only make a great wish for you. The dead should be reborn because of the evil in life. If gods and Buddhas in heaven hear it, please don't stop my believers from going to reincarnation. The repeated female voice gradually softens the stiff face of the mermaid. It is like the sound of Sanskrit. She feels that her body, which has been cold for thousands of years, is warm again. The dead can be reborn because of the evil in life. Chapter 382. Lin Luoran chants persistently for 9 days. First, the light spots of faith flying in her ocean of consciousness respond. They are Lin Luoran's believers in the outside world. The power of faith has a wide range of uses. What Lin Luoran asks for at this time is just an insignificant thing. On the 5th day, these light spots of faith build a bridge in Lin Luoran's ocean of consciousness. Blessed by the Reincarnation Sutra, she chants day and night. The demons hiding at the bottom of the sea of sin feel warm for the first time in thousands of years. At first, they are just grateful. Later, some demons will come to the seaside to listen to this simple sutra quietly when the sea of sin is calm every day. Compared with the half-written sutra, it is the persistent female voice that penetrates the thick, black and cold seawater. The clear and elegant female voice was calm and untainted. It sounded cold, but it made people feel at ease. The wraiths had long lost the concept of faith over the millennia, but on the morning of the 8th day, a black shadow's heart was at peace. After a pure white light of faith flew out of its head, it really disappeared from the wraith's sight. The wraiths were all burning up at that moment. The terrible thing about the sea of sin is that you can't get out of this place even if you are dead. They don't want to live. They just want to get rid of the bondage and enter reincarnation. I am willing to offer my faith. I am willing to offer my faith. They don't really lose faith. When the defense in their hearts is removed, demons find this fact. They have been suffering for so long that they forget the faith of hope. Faith is buried too deep. It only needs a guide. In fact, no one is more devout than these tortured demons. On the 9th day, the sea of sin is calm. Only the beautiful mermaid is left on the coast. Everything happens so fast. When she looks at Lin Luoran, who is sitting cross-legged, her eyes are very complicated. If she had really dragged this female cultivator into the water and made her a scapegoat, these vengeful spirits would never have been able to wait for the day of liberation, would they? What? Do you have any other wishes? Lin Luoran notices that she is not willing to leave, so she opens her eyes and asks. The mermaid grits her teeth. She wants to say something but finally shakes her head. What she can't forget is to go to Mount Penglai. It's better not to talk about it. This cyan-robed female cultivator will arrive at Penglai eventually. As for why he wanted to go to Penglai in the first place, the truth had long become unimportant, hadn't it? The mermaid lowers her eyes and laughs. I'm willing to offer my faith and pray for the path of reincarnation. Only when he gave up on his obsession did he realize that his entire body was at ease. The mermaid feels that there is a line connecting her and Lin Luoran. Is the warm white light the guide to enter the path of reincarnation? Her body slowly becomes transparent and finally disappears on the shore of the Sea of Sin. The breeze blows the fine sand. It is a soft beach. The seawater of the Sea of Sin is still so dark. However, there is no fishy smell because the demons are gone. When the mermaid is also freed, Lin Luoran is bathed in the soft white light. She lowers her eyes. At this moment, her expression is very similar to the incarnation of the fly Apsara's painted sculpture in the ocean of consciousness. After a long time, she stood up. Lin Luoran's knees are stiff after sitting for 9 days. She keeps chanting and doesn't get wet. For the first time, Lin Luoran realizes that bearing essence cultivators can really go hungry more than ordinary people. She is in a good mood now. I've underestimated you, little girl. This scripture is quite easy to recite. Fire Phoenix has been enduring for a long time. Seeing that things are over successfully, it finally can't hold it anymore. The light group of the power of faith in the ocean of consciousness that is almost substantial makes Lin Luoran feel very good. She doesn't care about Fire Phoenix's teasing. Didn't you say that the important thing is not what the scripture says? As long as I make a wish, they can feel the guidance of the power of faith? Lin Luoran feels that what Fire Phoenix said is very reasonable. It may not be the Sea of Sin that traps them. It is just the obsession in their hearts that they can't let go. Is it a prison? Fire Phoenix groans. Lin Luoran decides to bury this secret deep in her heart. I won't tell you that it is a copy of an online novel called Humanism Paradise that she accidentally read in college. Lin Luoran puts away the futon and takes out the blue jade that the mermaid exchanged for. She really can't see what is so special about it that it is worth the attention of the rank 9 monster. Out of caution, Lin Luoran decides to rest on the beach for a day and then set off. After waiting for half a year, she doesn't care about one more day. As soon as the blood moon disappears, Lin Luoran steps into the jungle against the thick fog again. She opens the jade box and smears the black mushroom-shaped substance on her body despite the nausea. Fire Phoenix in the space screams in a strange voice, "Didn't this thing fail? How could you do it?" Lin Luoran doesn't answer. 10 days ago, she took the jade box and walked to the foot of the mountain before she was chased by a flying snake. According to her estimation, it may be a rank 8 monster. Although this big killer can't pass the mountain smoothly, it is undeniable that it really lives up to the name of Big Killer in the long journey before. It sounds mysterious, but to put it bluntly, this black mushroom-shaped substance can make animals take a detour to escape from the eruption of magma in the underground of the Kalahari Desert because of its natural stench. Lin Luoran accidentally thinks that it is also quite effective on monsters. Lin Luoran only feels that this stinky mushroom smells bad, but she can accept it. She doesn't know why it is so magical. Monsters will avoid it like ghosts. Even semi-spiritual creatures like Fire Phoenix are afraid of it. Maybe this thing left a deep impression on the 3 big monsters in the space? Unfortunately, it doesn't work on rank 8 monsters. Lin Luoran's trip is still extremely dangerous. In the early morning, the jungle is shrouded in white mist. Lin Luoran stinks and walks among the ferns and towering old trees. Low-rank monsters smell the stench and avoid her quickly as if she is a flood. Lin Luoran rushes through the forest for 100 miles. This time, she enters the forest smoothly. However, This ancient forest that can breed monsters is obviously more dangerous. Low-rank monsters hate Lin Luoran's stench, but plants don't feel it. A thick brown vine under Lin Luoran's feet makes something in the towering tree move. She continues to move forward. The thick vines hanging upside down between the branches come to life and entangle her like snakes. Lin Luoran dodges nimbly. The thick vines hiding under the thick dead branches and rotten leaves have already intertwined into a big net. The second she lands, the net shrinks and stretches, and Lin Luoran is successfully hung on the tree. The thick brown vines form a big cocoon. Of course, this is not a joke. This is the monster vine in the monster forest that can only survive on monsters' flesh and blood. If the monsters entangled by it have no way to escape, they will be turned into a pool of blood by the liquid secreted by the surface of the brown thick vines within a quarter of an hour. Finally, the blood will be used as nourishment for the thick vines. The thick vines think they can have a good meal today. However, after dozens of seconds, they all shrink back unwillingly. Lin Luoran falls to the ground again. She looks terrible. It seems that she is unlucky today. She just arrived at the area of 100 miles and she has already got into trouble. This kind of fearless monster vine looks no different from the countless vines in the forest. Even though Lin Luoran is a cultivator in the level of bearing essence, she can easily be caught by it if she is not careful. In fact, this thing is not difficult to deal with. Lin Luoran only needs to crush a few purple berries to make the monster vine avoid her automatically. The reason why her face was unsightly was that this kind of purple berry, which was very difficult to find, was the natural enemy of demonic vines, but it was also the favorite food of a kind of low-rank demonic beast. They can smell the purple berries from 10 miles away, and they will chase them down. Lin Luoran decides to leave here quickly. Flying will attract the attention of monsters. Lin Luoran can only run in the forest at full speed. After walking for less than 10 miles, Lin Luoran hears rustling in front of her. Is she so unlucky? Lin Luoran clearly remembers that not far ahead is the territory of a rank 7 monster. If she makes a noise here, the effect of the stinky mushroom may disappear. Low-rank monsters are not terrible. However, Lin Luoran can't help but feel numb when she thinks of these monsters appearing in groups. Chapter 383. Like the rustling of leaves in the wind, the regular and neat subtle sound reminds Lin Luoran of a house full of silkworms fed by her mother when she was a child. They were eating mulberry leaves in such a neat way. Of course, what comes to Lin Luoran is not the lovely silkworms. The sound can make people's scalp numb even without spiritual mind. Of course, it can't be the harmless silkworms, but the extremely difficult ants of gold. Lin Luoran knows that ants of gold are rank 2 monsters. 3 months ago, she hid in the dark and saw a group of golden ants eating a rank 6 python, leaving only a skeleton. At that time, she was surprised by the power of these ants of gold. She quietly picked up an ant's body. The monster bolus is just the size of a peanut. Judging by its reiki, she can tell it is a rank 2 monster. Lin Luoran is about to cast a spell to completely wash away the smell of purple berries on her hands. However, an idea flashes across her mind and she feels that this kind of chase may not be a completely bad thing. She continues to move forward. Maybe it is the passage of ants of gold or the stench of her body that makes all the nearby monsters run away. Lin Luoran's following journey becomes very smooth. Not long after, she sees the aggressive ants of gold. The heads of ants are the size of oranges. Lin Luoran's retina can only see a piece of golden color. Like a sea of wheat, wherever they pass, even poisonous flowers will eat 2 bites. The colorful jungle is in the direction where ants of gold come from. There is only a golden wavy sea of wheat on the horizon. Lin Luoran meets them on a narrow road. Ants of gold seem to have a collective mental disorder. Seeing ants of gold in the vanguard suddenly stop, ants of gold in the back don't know what happened. They recklessly step on the bodies of their own kind and come to Lin Luoran. They go the old way of the vanguard. Lin Luoran knows that it is because she not only has the smell of purple berries but also stinky mushrooms which are hated by low-rank monsters. One is their favorite food, while the other is the stinky mushrooms which low-rank monsters avoid like ghosts. Lin Luoran can understand the contradiction of the ant army. She thinks about it and bravely steps forward, approaching the ranks of ants of gold. Ants of gold smell the stinky smell and avoid it. However, Lin Luoran moves quickly. Ants of gold push each other so that she has a chance to go deep into the center of the ant army. When the ants of gold sorted out the team again, an extremely strange scene appeared. Lin Luoran is standing in the center of the ant colony. Within a radius of 5 meters around her, there is a hollow open space. Ants of gold form a circle around her. They dare not go forward but are reluctant to leave. Some ants of gold are not willing to give up. They try to spray formic acid on Lin. Seeing this, Lin Luoran sets up a protective cover. Looking at the saliva-like formic acid, Lin Luoran is relieved that it only falls 2 meters away from her. Even though the formic acid withered all the grass in an instant, Lin Luoran is still relieved. 5 meters was a good distance. Since that was the case, she didn't need to change her original intention and waste her spiritual power. Ants of gold are certainly not stupid. Some ants have begun to stack on top of each other, trying to stand a little higher to deal with Lin Luoran, the enemy who makes them feel contradictory. Lin Luoran will not stand there and wait for them to pile up into a human arhat so that she can shoot them further. She moved. As soon as Lin Luoran left, the ants of gold also left. The mighty ant colony of gold actually became her free bodyguard. Wherever they go, birds and beasts are rarely seen. For the first time, Lin Luoran feels proud on this island full of monsters. Is this a kind of fox assuming the tiger's might? Lin Luoran decides not to think about this issue about her face. It is noon now. The thick fog over the island has dissipated. Lin Luoran looks into the distance and sees the outline of the mountains in the distance. In the depths of the white clouds, there is a rank 9 monster. No divinization cultivator has been seen in this world for at least 2,000 years. Only this space of different dimensions connected to Mount Penglai has been left. No one knows when this strange island next to the Sea of Sin has been left. It is simply a paradise for monsters. Thinking that she will face a monster with the personal ability of divinization, Lin Luoran's mood inevitably fluctuates even with her current state of mind. People say Spirit Mountain is good, but who knows the dangers inside? However, is there really only danger? If she didn't come here, Lin Luoran would never have thought that she would have the opportunity to see what she has experienced in front of her. Monster bolus and various materials are not important. Just like a sentence often mentioned in some intellectual abstracts, compared with the ending, the process is the most important. Whether it is the Sea of Sin or the Monster Forest, this process is very important for Lin Luoran. As the night falls, the Monster Forest is in a state of panic again. For humans, night is the time to sleep. For beasts, they get rid of the laziness in the daytime and officially start to hunt. Even monsters are not free from vulgarity. Night brings camouflage. Ordinary people can't see things. However, monsters hunt more by smell, touch, and hearing. The night is actually a help for them. Rabbits don't eat the grass near their burrows. This is not applicable for carnivores. Beasts prefer to divide their territories by urine or body odor. Each of them occupies a territory. In this land, they are the supreme kings and they hunt and kill the weak animals wantonly. The reason why the monster forest violates this traditional habit is that monsters here can't see each other's level. However, they all know that the closer to the mountains, the more abundant Reiki is. Regardless of whether the demon beasts were intelligent or not, they all liked the feeling of spiritual energy cleansing the various tissues in their bodies. They knew that the warm airflow was a good thing. In order to get closer to the mountain range, the demon beasts had always been fighting with each other. Therefore, although they can't see each other's personal ability, after so many years of fighting, they have formed a convention. The closer to the depths of the forest, the higher the level of monsters. Even if low-rank monsters want to challenge, they will not be stupid enough to break into the depths of the forest. However, high-rank monsters in the depths of the forest like to hunt at the edge of the forest. It's not that they don't want to eat the grass near their burrows like rabbits, but the rules of the monster forest determine that monsters who can stay near the forest have been tested by countless fights. In fact, their personal ability is almost the same. When they are hungry, it's best not to attack each other. Since their personal ability is the same, you can't eat me, and I can't do anything to you. It's better to go to the edge of the forest to catch rabbits of fire as soon as possible. Lin Luoran is destined to run into many monsters in the dark when she is going in the opposite direction and the destination is opposite to each other. Ants of gold are so famous that all monsters run away when they hear them. However, they are only rank 2 monsters after all. It's already an unexpected gain for Lin Luoran to be her bodyguards for so long. There are more than hidden dragons and crouching tigers in the monster forest. Some talented high-rank monsters are not afraid of the army of ants of gold. For them, the heads of ants as big as oranges are hiding monster boluses of rank 2 monsters. Of course, human cultivators can't directly absorb Reiki in monster boluses. However, high-rank monsters don't have this concern. Although the demon cores of rank 2 demonic beasts were like peanuts for high-rank demonic beasts, when this kind of moving peanut demon cores appeared in groups in the depths of the demonic beast forest, a certain demonic beast hiding in the dark swallowed its saliva greedily. These ants of gold usually come and go like a gust of wind. They are only active near the outer edge of the monster forest. Today, they go into the depths of the forest as if they have lost their minds. It serves them right to be taken advantage of by the ants of gold. A pair of greedy eyes glances at the places where ants of gold go. It stays for a while on Lin Luoran in the center. Hey, what kind of monster is this? Why haven't I seen it before? Seeing that a monster can stand in the encirclement of ants of gold and walk leisurely, its limited wisdom is not as flexible as the human mind. However, it still keeps some vigilance for unknown creatures. This thing opens a pair of ugly eyes and follows the ants quietly. It doesn't go forward to eat immediately. Surrounded by ants, Lin Luoran has enjoyed the treatment of a queen on patrol since noon. In order to keep the interest of ants of gold, she crushes 2 of these extremely difficult to find purple berries on the way. The temptation of delicious food makes these low-intelligence ants of gold excited. They keep following her into the depths of the forest. Estimating the distance they have walked, Lin Luoran should be 400 miles deep into the monster forest now. The towering mountains are in front of her. This is the place where high-rank monsters often appear. Lin Luoran doesn't dare to take it lightly in the ant colony. After walking for a while, ants of gold in front of her suddenly stop. Lin Luoran narrows her eyes. She has already felt the malicious eyes hiding in the dark. What makes her depressed is that there is more than one. She is so careful, but she still falls into the encirclement? She just doesn't know what rank the monsters in front and behind are. Chapter 384. Ants of gold begin to get restless. The blood moon's creepy reddish moonlight shines through the gaps between the branches of the towering trees. Lin Luoran's face looks unusually pale under the moonlight. Lin Luoran certainly won't be discouraged before seeing the enemy. She just feels strange that ants of gold are restless. With her eyesight, she looks around but finds no trace of monsters. High-rank monsters are extremely difficult to deal with. Besides, they are good at hiding. It's really not good news for Lin Luoran. She frowns and knows that it's time to give up the ant colony. However, she can't act rashly because the situation ahead is unclear. Just when Lin Luoran is in a dilemma, she finds that the ant colony is suddenly in chaos. The ants of gold behind her change their previous disgust for stinky mushrooms. They even want to rush to the area of 5 meters. Lin Luoran hurriedly props up a protective cover. It happens suddenly. Even if she responds quickly, her body is stained by the splashing formic acid. The pain on her wrist is excruciating. She lowers her head in a hurry. There are a few small holes corroded by formic acid on her jade-like wrist. Bright red flesh is exposed. She has been injured countless times in the past 6 months. If the metabolism of cultivators is not different from that of ordinary people, Lin Luoran must be covered with all kinds of scars at this time. Long illness makes a good doctor. Lin Luoran is quite experienced in wound treatment at this time. Formic acid is hard to deal with. She makes a prompt decision and covers her fingertips with gold wackin. She digs out the rotten flesh by force. Physical pain is not the most important thing when it comes to self-mutilation. Lin Luoran works fast and ruthlessly. She digs out the rotten flesh and the spring water in the space flows over her wrist. The formic acid is completely washed away. Lin Luoran crushes the circulation bolus and applies it to the wound. The medicine brings a cool and comfortable feeling to the wound and the pain gradually subsides. Lin Luoran is not only fast but also alert to the movements around. There are many ants of gold outside the protective cover. These ants suddenly become violent not to attack her. Looking through the gap of the protective cover, Lin Luoran finally sees what the high-rank monster hiding behind the ant colony looks like. That thing is about the size of an ordinary cattle with a long tail. It is covered by ants of gold and its appearance cannot be seen clearly. Lin Luoran thinks it should be a high-rank monster covered with scales. It seems that even the formic acid of the ants of gold can do nothing to it. Ants of gold clings tightly to the monster's scales. The monster suddenly shakes violently and many ants of gold fall off. Lin finally sees a touch of black and purple covered by the golden ants. This is a monster covered with black and purple scales. Taking advantage of the time when ants of gold shake off, it raises its 2 or 3 meters long tail high and then falls down. Many ants of gold are smashed to death. Lin Luoran is vigilant. When the long tail slaps down, the whole ground is shaking. No wonder the ants of gold can't stand it. The scaled monster slaps dozens of times and all the ants of gold around it are killed. The corpses of the ants are piled up on the ground, like a pile of wheat that has just been harvested. Lin Luoran finally sees the whole picture of the monster. Its body is the size of cattle. Its limbs are short and powerful. It has a pointed mouth and its whole body is covered with black and purple hard scales. Even the eyelids have scales. It is armed to the teeth. It opens its mouth and a pile of ants of gold is sucked into its mouth. It smacks the ants and eats them with great relish. Thinking of the appearance of the monster, Lin Luoran thinks of the pangolin in the outside world. Of course, this thing is not a pangolin. It is a high-rank monster with thick skin and flesh. It is not afraid of the siege of ants of gold. It doesn't even show any other abilities. It just smashes these ants to death with its strong physical strength. It is certainly not a good choice to stay here. Lin Luoran is not in danger when she is trapped in the middle of the ant colony. The real danger is the pangolin-like monster that feeds on ants of gold and another unknown monster that has not attacked but is staring at Lin Luoran. Where can she escape? Lin Luoran makes a decision in an instant. Escape to the rear. For the first time, she summons the flying sword in the monster forest. When she passes by the black and purple pangolin, the latter subconsciously slaps her with its tail. After Lin Luoran avoids it alertly, the pangolin hesitates for a while. In the end, it doesn't catch up with her. Instead, it lowers its head and enjoys the food of ants of gold. Lin Luoran sweats coldly and directs the flying sword to go through the dense forest of old trees. She is right. The black and purple pangolin monster comes for those ants of gold. She is not its main target. What makes Lin Luoran confused is that the monster following her is obviously not interested in ants of gold. That thing seemed to have set its sights on her and was determined to eat her into its stomach as tonight's dinner before it stopped. The old trees in the forest seriously affect Lin Luoran's flying speed. Lin Luoran is almost caught by the ubiquitous vines and branches several times. Lin Luoran is depressed. Above the old trees is the vast sky. It is the best place to fly on the sword. But she knows this method won't work. The unobstructed sky belongs to the flying monsters like pterosaurs. If Lin Luoran tries to fly over the mountain in the air, she will definitely be surrounded by various flying monsters. Flying on a sword in midair was simply telling those hungry demonic beasts that there was a snack in the sky. Everyone, hurry up and come and snatch it. Lin Luoran has been flying in the opposite direction. She is getting farther and farther away from the mountain she dreams of. Although she is tall, she is still at an advantage compared to most of the huge demon beasts. After fleeing in the dense forest branches for a while, she clearly feels that the scorching feeling of the eyes locked on her behind her has weakened a little. The latter seems to have been dragged away by her. Lin Luoran smiles faintly when she sees a piece of red flowers blooming brightly under the pale red moonlight and a big tree without a top lying in front of her. She thinks she has found a way to get rid of the pursuer. Fortune comes from danger. This method is excellent. However, it is easy to get herself into trouble if she is not careful. She needs to make a good plan. Looking at the red flowers and the bald tree, Lin Luoran soon comes up with an idea. Lin Luoran takes advantage of the fact that the pursuers won't catch up for a while. Lin Luoran slashes the dazzling sea of flowers with her sword and releases a few more fireballs. The firelight is very conspicuous in such a dark night. Lin Luoran has heard something in front of her. Lin Luoran leans against the bald tree and escapes into the space. Without the support of any external force, the bead fell on one of the branches. Compared to the light of the fire, this little bit of brilliance was really insignificant. The fire phoenix and the others shout to express their rudeness. Lin Luoran looks at the wound on her wrist that has stopped bleeding and begins to scab. She doesn't even raise her head. Do the three of you have a better way? The three powerful people in the past, who can only hide in the space and point out what to do today, all shut up. They are embarrassed by Lin Luoran's rhetorical question. Leaving the bead between the branches, Lin Luoran hides in the space. This method is certainly very risky. If the bead is accidentally swallowed by the monster, it will be really troublesome. But this time, Lin Luoran is still a bit confident. She checks the wound and realizes that the life in the jungle today has made her very thirsty. The stench on her body has faded a lot. This is no longer the territory of low-rank monsters, so the effect of stinky mushroom is very small. Lin Luoran returns to her room on the second floor of the cabin. She quickly takes a shower and changes clothes. It has only been 8 minutes since she entered the space. She takes a small jar of monkey wine down and gulps it down. She feels that the burning feeling in her throat disappears and the fatigue of the day is washed away by the warm spirit wine. Lin Luoran takes a drink. 10 minutes. The two should be fighting fiercely, right? It's time for her to go out and have a look. A human figure suddenly appears between the branches. The two monsters, whose eyes are red with killing, don't pay much attention to it. Lin Luoran hides behind the tree and looks forward. One is a centipede with 100 feet, and the other is a weird monster that looks like a cockroach magnified countless times. Lin Luoran only takes a glance, and it seems that everything is going according to her plan. She knows that she can't be greedy at this time. The materials of high-rank monsters are very rare, but she needs to be alive to get them. Whether the centipede or the cockroach wins, she can't escape. This is the best time for her to escape. Lin Luoran jumps down from the branch and continues to sneak into the depths of the forest. The cockroach-like monster seems to have high intelligence. It is angry that Lin Luoran uses a trap to trap it. Seeing Lin Luoran disappearing in the dense forest in the blink of an eye, it wants to chase after her. However, the centipede is also very difficult to deal with and it can't get away. Lin Luoran rushes all the way. It is about 11 or 12 o'clock in the evening. The high-rank monsters in the depths of the forest go to the edge to look for food. This is the best time for her to reach the mountain. There are countless trees and exotic flowers in the forest. They quickly pass by Lin Luoran's vision. She is finally close to the place where Ant of Gold stayed. Not to mention other dangers, she should get rid of the cockroach-like monster that has been chasing her all the way here, right? The previous plan could really be counted as a million coincidences. The centipede is the rank 7 monster that Lin Luoran fought fiercely a few days ago. At that time, she stepped on the cluster of red flowers accompanying the centipede, which led the centipede to fight with her desperately. Although she cut off a few feet of the centipede with the help of the flying sword, it didn't help much in the overall battle situation. If it weren't for the 2 rank 8 monsters fighting nearby at that time, Lin Luoran wouldn't have been able to escape at all last time. She cut off the red flowers and hid in the space. The centipede was startled and the cockroach-like monster followed closely. It was the only one around, so the centipede naturally thought it was the real murderer. Everything is interconnected. The rank 7 monster that almost killed her last time happened to help her stop the pursuers this time. Things in this world are really coincidental. Lin Luoran's mind is also restless during the fast running. She has been extremely stable all the way. When there is a hazy light in the sky again, she is already standing under the high mountains. These months of effort are just to get close to here and cross the mountains. Lin Luoran has no time to care about all kinds of feelings at this time. The dawn is coming, which means that the hunting monsters will come back at any time. She has to avoid the limelight for a while. Chapter 385. This is a rubber tree. As the name suggests, it looks like a rubber tree. However, the transparent glue is definitely more powerful than rubber. Lin Luoran infuses Wacken into the flying sword. The bright sword is extremely sharp. Lin Luoran jumps to the top of the tree and cuts off some dead branches. She moves the leftovers into the space and starts to dig a hole in the center of the tree from top to bottom. The flying sword is covered by the sticky liquid. Lin Luoran doesn't care about the disgust. Seeing that the hole is big enough, she pinches her nose and jumps in. Cultivators in the level of bearing essence have their own internal circulation. It is not difficult for them not to breathe for a few hours. Lin Luoran closes her eyes, nose, mouth and mouth. She lets the transparent mucus cover her head. She resists the desire to move and becomes a statue. The sticky liquid soon wraps Lin Luoran into something like amber. Lin Luoran is decisive enough. When the glue solidifies, a yellow-spotted tiger with wings on its back jumps over the top of the tree. It doesn't notice the human-shaped amber in the center of the tree. Lin Luoran chooses a good angle. Looking down from the top of the tree, people can only see the top of her black head. No monster will be interested in a rubber tree, even if the tree seems to be missing some branches. The hunting monsters come back one after another. The sun is rising. Lin Luoran doesn't think the scorching sunlight above her head is powerful, but the temperature of the sunlight is real. Having just experienced a night of hunting, both hard work and satisfaction were present at the same time. At noon, the high-level demonic beasts were all hiding in their territories, lazily taking a nap. When the sun rose, the solidified amber actually showed signs of melting. When the sun rose, the solidified transparent amber completely melted into a semi-viscous state. The semi-sticky liquid in the center of the tree moves. Lin Luoran comes out of the tree with her whole body wet. Although her eyes, nose, mouth are closed, she still can't help coughing violently because of the sticky liquid in her mouth and nose. The magic of the rubber tree is that the mucus will solidify quickly when it meets the air. When the temperature rises to a certain level, it will melt quickly. Lin Luoran has done an experiment. As long as it is not raining, it only takes about 10 minutes for the glue to melt at noon. This meant that she would be able to hide for most of the day and escape at noon, when the demonic beasts were the most tired. This was the best time for her to ascend the mountain. Red light flashes on Lin's body. Glue is most afraid of fire, so it evaporates quickly. Feeling that the sticky feeling is gone, Lin Luoran feels refreshed. She looks around and chooses a direction to go to the top of the mountain. In the past 6 months, Lin Luoran has been familiar with the forest, so she can use some native plants and aborigines to sneak to the foot of the mountain. However, Lin Luoran has never set foot on this mountain. It should be said that she tried to go up the mountain, but she always failed. Thinking that a rank 8 monster in the level of gathering vitality may be hiding behind an old tree on the hillside, Lin Luoran's palms are sweaty. She was only in the early stage of the core formation realm, so she couldn't help but be nervous. The wind gently blew past his cheeks. This mountain range, which was covered in clouds and mist all year round, was filled with all kinds of ripe berries. The flesh of the berries was almost bursting through the skin. They hung on the treetops or branches, emitting an alluring fragrance. Lin Luoran can't help but take a deep breath. This fruitful scene reminds her of the backyard of Lin's family. The loquat she planted last year should be ripe now, right? Putting aside these irrelevant fantasies in her mind, Lin Luoran's eyes focus on the forest in front of her again. She has imagined many times how dangerous this mountain, which is absolutely the top area of the monster forest, is. However, when she really climbs up the mountain, she finds that it is like a paradise with birds singing and flowers fragrant. Along the way, Lin Luoran doesn't dare to relax. She only wants to climb as high as possible when the high-rank monsters are napping. Because she has to avoid the monsters, she has only reached the middle of the mountain after 2 hours. This mountain range was taller than what she had estimated. Seeing the strange scene, Lin Luoran also dares to be careful. A few minutes ago, she has heard tigers roaring in the distance. It should be their nap time. Lin Luoran really wants to rush over the mountain, but her reason tells her that she will just lose her life in vain if she blindly does it. Even though she doesn't value her life, her relatives and friends of Lin's family have placed their hope on her. Lin Luoran is reluctant to bury herself in the monster forest. She can't hurry now. Lin Luoran feels a little pity, but she still quickly investigates the nearby terrain. The sound of running water comes from the hillside. Lin Luoran walks carefully for a while and finds that there is a small waterfall after turning around the mountain wall. Under the waterfall is a stone slope with steps. The water falls into a small blue pool at the foot of the mountain like silver threads. Lin Luoran looks around for a while. This place is hidden behind the slope and bushes. It looks relatively hidden, but there may be monsters drinking water from the waterfall. Choosing this place as a camp, the risk and the safety factor are 50-50. She hesitates for a while and finally gives up here. Maybe it is safer to hide in the bead space? It is not as eye-catching as a living person. She just needs to be responsible for hiding the bead. Lin Luoran finds a bush far away from the waterfall. This plant is only half the height of a person. Its branches are old and hard, and its leaves are not much bigger than cactus leaves. At first glance, it is estimated that even herbivorous monsters will not be interested in it. However, Lin Luoran thinks this place is very good. She looks around carefully. After making sure that there are no chewing marks or monster footprints, she lies down on the bush. In fact, these branches are not too hard. In this way, when she comes out, she will not be so embarrassed, right? Lin Luoran has an idea and enters the space. Without support, the bead rolls into the root of the bush as usual. It is covered by a dead leaf and nothing unusual can be seen. It really looks like a safe place. Lin Luoran can relax after entering the space. She sits on the swing tied to the apple branch. For a moment, she wants to hide in the space until the end of the world. She doesn't want to go out and live in fear. What? Do you regret going to Penglai? Fire Phoenix comes out of nowhere. It shakes its head and looks like it needs a beating. Lin Luoran shakes her head. Lin Luoran's poor family has taught her that once she makes a choice, she must face it positively. Because of the conditions of the Lin family, she really can't have many opportunities to waste like other people of her age. Of course, she doesn't regret coming to Penglai. It's just that this space is so vast that she doesn't know when she will find Mount Penglai. What would be waiting for her after crossing this mountain range? Because of her fighting in the past 6 months, various monster boluses of various colors are piled up in the space. A few boluses a day means no less than 200 or 300 boluses. These things, together with the skins and useful claws and tails peeled from monsters, are all piled up in the open space by Lin Luoran. At this moment, it looks really colorful. Even though they were mainly low-grade demon cores and materials, they were still considered a considerable amount of wealth in the cultivation world of the past. Lin Luoran plays with the monster boluses in her hand. She has been used to living a nervous life in the past 6 months. She is not used to hiding in this safe place for a while. It's easy to think when you are too idle. Lin Luoran starts to take care of the space again. The spirit herbs she replanted are all growing well. Too many fruits on the fruit trees is a problem. It seems that she needs to cut down the fruits. She can't throw away the fruits after picking them. It's not a good habit to waste food. Lin Luoran thinks about it and decides to make some spirit wine. On the one hand, she doesn't waste the fruits. On the other hand, she can divert her attention. She is busy in the space for half a day. She makes 4 jars of wine and 4 jars of cider. She also tries to make mango wine. Because it is her first time to make the latter, she only makes 2 jars. She even makes a big meal for herself. For the first time in half a year, Lin Luoran has tasted delicious Sichuan cuisine. Lin Luoran almost cries because of the familiar taste of her hometown. Lying on the big bed in the room, Lin Luoran takes a short rest. Only then does she find that there is a quite modern laptop in the room. She hasn't used it yet. When she is about to open it, Fire Phoenix says that something is happening outside the space. What is happening? Before Lin Luoran can ask, she finds that the earth of the space is shaking. It can't be that the space is suddenly going to upgrade. Then there must be something wrong with the outside, right? Lin Luoran grits her teeth. Fire Phoenix stops her from moving. With a stroke of its claws, a fire mirror appears. It switches to the outside scene. It turns out that a white bear has picked up the bead and is shaking it hard. It seems that it wants to bite it to see if the bead is strong. Of course, she can't let it bite it. Lin Luoran has no intuitive feeling about the bearing capacity of the bead. When she thinks that the space will collapse, all the exotic flowers and plants here, including Fire Phoenix, will be destroyed. Lin Luoran doesn't know where she gets the courage. She boldly shouts, "Stop!" It doesn't matter whether she stops or not. What matters is that Lin Luoran's voice really comes out with the help of Fire Phoenix. Rank 8. Fire Phoenix whispers in her ear, "You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.